Folks, we have an epidemic in this country. Would you like to know what the epidemic is? And our poll is proof of it. There are American citizens, and otherwise, being probed by beings that we fully don't understand, folks. Do you realize that the government has collaborated with these beings and have created a treaty with them so that they say, well, yes, the American populace can be probed from time to time, but nothing too invasive? Well, folks, they have violated this. The treaty signers with Eisenhower that said, no, we will not do great harm to your citizenry. We only want to experiment a bit. Analyze the biological materials of your females and males. Well, folks, they have probed us. They have stolen our jism. They have stolen our ovaries. Yes, I have ovaries. I'm female. Okay, do you get this? We are now in a time when intergalactic rapists can do as they will, as they want, with our bodies as Americans. I am outraged, and I see the results of the poll, folks. You've been probed, and it's time to expose it, right, Shanny?
Yes.
We are here to expose the probing.
The abductions of UFOs.
Right here, right now, abducted into flying saucers and probed. That's it, folks. Welcome to Rev and Shanny Live, the Rev and Shanny Show. Here we go.
We have to fix the lighting. Purple light for tonight, since it's all spacey, or green?
I like the Harley colors, but yeah, green is the one.
Green.
Green's the one.
Green, because we're talking about aliens.
We're talking about aliens, folks.
Yes.
Not the peace-loving Ponte. We're not talking about the peace-loving Ponte.
No, we're not talking about the Ponte. We're talking about them reptilian motherfuckers.
Yeah, harvesting ovum and semen.
From the Ponte.
That's it. From humans.
From humans.
Humans. That's right.
It looks like the majority of people have been, in fact, probed.
The majority.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm so hot.
I love how they had to put the little Wikipedia here just to, like, tell us about aliens.
Have to.
Like, thanks, Wiki.
Need to make sure you're getting the facts, folks.
But we're here right now watching Emperor Zeke, so if you want to subscribe to that guy, please do.
Do that.
It's got a nice voice.
Emperor Zeke, go.
45, Herbert L.
Oh, wait. So we're not getting double.
Although that echo can sound kind of neat sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes the echo sounds like, I am God.
Well, he's in an auditorium presenting.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of like that. But yeah.
Shermer was a teetotaler and Navy veteran who served in Vietnam before he became a police officer. He was reportedly well known and liked by the people of Ashland, Nebraska. I tried to be the best cop out.
Nebraska. You got a lot of probing in Nebraska.
Is that right?
Yep.
Lots of probing?
I've been probed before in Nebraska.
Oh, by Eric, right.
God, you don't... Jesus. Just go with it.
Ashland ever had. I was respected by a lot of people. They'd stop me on the street to say hello and talk. However, in less than a month after his encounter, the people changed their minds about Herb.
First appeared to me to be a truck, I thought. As I got closer and put the high beams of the lights on the patrol car on this object started raising. These lights started raising up in the air.
It began with mockery, but ramped up to the point that they hanged, shot, and buried an effigy of Herb, and even blew up his car. This episode of high strangeness...
They blew up his car, the aliens? Holy shit. They're saying high strangeness. They must be a Art Bell watcher.
Nori.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Art Bell said high strangeness before Nori, right?
I think so, yeah.
Began on
Oh,
December
see?
3rd,
Fucking
1967,
stealing from
when
the
Sergeant
master.
Shermer, who was then 22,
Art Bell.
was on a usual late-night patrol. After midnight, Herb's attention was drawn to a bull that had broken out of an auction barn. It seemed to be spooked by something, but Herb didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
That bull was like, fuck that, I see aliens, I'm gonzies.
Right?
I ain't doing that shit.
I hope we get some Bigfoot testimony in this. I'm thinking we probably won't, though. That's okay.
I know, right?
I want to hear about broken sticks in the woods.
After some time, the officer got the bull back into a pen and went on his way. Afterwards, he checked on 2 gas stations which were nearby, before radioing in to the sheriff's office and let them know that all was secure for now. By this time, it was 2:20 a.m., and Shermer pulled onto State Highway 6 heading west. Around 10 minutes later, as he was driving at the intersection of Highway 63 and Highway 6, Officer Shermer saw red lights flashing ahead of him. He thought it might be a truck on the side of the road. It wasn't until he got closer that he realized how wrong he truly was. The red lights were shining out of the windows or portholes
That is.
of a sleek, metallic,
that's some great
football-shaped
editing right
object,
there.
hovering a few
Photo
feet
editing.
above the ground. Shermer realized this object must be one of the infamous UFOs he'd heard of before, but never thought they really existed. The craft was hovering with a slight tilt. It began to ascend with a loud siren-like sound, expelling a reddish-orange glow of energy from the underside of the object. The craft passed nearly over Shermer's head, before shooting straight up and disappearing into the sky.
It went to the moon.
After a moment, with his flashlight in hand, Shermer inspected the area where the UFO
That's
was.
a deal.
He then quickly drove away and returned to the station and wrote in his logbook, "Saw a flying saucer at the junction of Highway 6 and 63, believe it or not." Shermer then
God, you're getting me
noticed
dizzy.
that it was now 3 o'clock, but this was impossible. He thought only 10 minutes had passed since his sighting. This period of missing time was inexplicable. It was later found that there was a 25-minute gap in his radio log as well. He would later learn that 4 other UFOs were reported to police that night. He relayed his experience to another officer who came in for the morning shift, and made his experience.
Are you sure about that death fat, our guest? All these people saying they haven't been probed are in denial. They probably are. They probably are.
True.
I've been probed. Plenty of times.
Known to the chief
By
of police.
alien beings?
Herb was not
Sure, we'll
feeling
go
well
with that.
since he saw the object. He went home and felt like everything was drained out of him. He laid down and felt a buzzing feeling in his head and pressure on his body. He couldn't feel his arms or even move his mouth to call for help.
Dude.
After eventually drifting off to sleep, he was awoken by a phone call from the chief of police asking about the encounter. In the aftermath of his encounter, Herb told his close friends, family, and neighbors about his experience. Little did he know it would be his undoing.
Nobody gives a shit about the Nader thing. It happened years ago. Get over it and
then
stop
you
talking
bring it
about
up.
it.
You brought it up. We're doing
Yeah, I'm
content.
done.
Don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Soon
Let's do
enough,
content.
word got
That's
out
right.
about Herb's sighting of the saucer. He was laughed at and felt gaslit. The prank phone calls and mockery built up until eventually some of the other people in the town hanged in effigy of Shermer.
Yep, that's true.
They
People
slashed
do
his
mock.
tires and smashed his windshield. Later, his car was reportedly blown up entirely.
They slashed and smashed his windshield and blown up because he said he saw aliens.
Nuts. That's bullying.
What the fuck, Nebraska? Can't you have any self-fucking control?
That's bullying.
Man.
They bully the man because he claimed to be probed. What's the deal with that?
I don't know, man.
Come on now.
Could aliens be demons? Probably. Maybe.
Along the way, his wife would reportedly leave him because of the incident as well. I would give somebody a traffic ticket and they would look at me and laugh and tear up the ticket. What could I do? They treated me worse than a criminal. I lost all my rights. One of Herb's few remaining friends at the time was Ashland Mayor Goff, who promoted Herb to the chief of police, making him one of the youngest chiefs of police in the Midwestern USA.
poor
Unfortunately
guy.
for Herb, after 4.5 months, Mayor Goff lost his re-election, and the new mayor quickly fired Herb. I walked into the city council office.
They fired him for talking about aliens.
That's it.
See, that's why they started going to Congress and being like, can we have our lives back?
Which we must review.
Yes, we do.
That hearing.
Yes.
This was the tactics at the time, was to ostracize people that said anything,
Yeah,
to keep it under the fucking rug.
exactly.
It's the truth.
And spun down my badge on the tabletop. Gentlemen, you are gonna pay for this. After losing his job, Herb moved to Omaha for work as a Pinkerton guard. On his first night there, he was recognized and laughed out of a bar. After 6 months, Herb was fired from his new job because of the experience.
That's horrible.
Canceled.
Like G+.
Canceled because you got fucking probed by aliens. What insult to injury.
YouTube cancel tactics back in the 60s.
Yeah, man. That is YouTube cancel tactics.
It is.
Like, what the fuck? Why are you doing that?
What's the deal? Just because the guy said he had an experience that's outside your purview of reality, you're going to ostracize him and make fun of him, and then he loses his job? That's insane.
I know, right?
That's insane, dude.
They did Herb wrong, man.
They did.
He got probed and fired. Exactly, man.
That's wrong.
The real question, are black-eyed children aliens? No, I think they're possessed.
Since
I don't
then,
know. That
he
might be
moved
a
from
dimensional
Texas,
deal.
New Mexico, Arizona,
know.
California, Washington, and Oregon. After working as a security guard in Oregon for a while, the company went bankrupt, and Herb subsisted solely on his second wife's salary as a secretary. Herb says he eventually resorted to odd jobs at ranches and orchards, before being essentially forced out of each state.
That poor guy, man.
That is insane.
He got totally canceled.
Yeah. Literally, because he just reported something that happened to him that was different.
That's true.
That they ostracized him out of like every state. That's insane.
Huh.
Wow.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
There's always someone who recognizes you. Then you're either ridiculed or the company decides it just can't keep someone who's seen a flying saucer.
That's it.
6 months after his experience, Herb underwent hypnotic regression for the first time in Boulder,
That
Colorado,
poor guy.
as a part of
Boulder?
If I could turn back time.
That's when Boulder had nothing in it except just a few houses. Back before Colorado was like in such growth.
the Condon UFO study. The Condon study is significant largely because it was used by the Air Force to justify ending Project Blue Book. The Pentagon.
Oh, really? So they put these poor guys in such horrible positions dealing with aliens, and then they're like, oh, they're just crazy. Let's just close the book.
That's gaslighting.
I know, right?
That's major gaslighting.
It really is. It was. I think it was less acceptable to be probed back in the 60s. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Yeah. Whitley Strieber.
Yeah.
And also the guy firing this guy, Travis Walton?
Travis Walton, yeah.
I have to see
Fire in the Sky.
I want to watch
I haven't seen that since I was a little girl because it scared me so much.
Me too. I want to see that as an adult. That movie.
Mike, I think it both. Sometimes crop circles are made by man, some are alien.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Ugh.
Pentagon's original front-facing
Miami.
UFO debunking office. Edward Condon, who led the study, famously admitted that he'd made his mind up about UFOs being bunk long before the study ended. Shermer's case was
That's
the
psyop.
only...
Well, there you go. Then you gaslighted this poor officer for his whole life. You piece of shit government.
That's a government psyop to shut it down. That's what that is.
Yeah. I feel bad for the guy, man.
A
That's
close
awful.
encounter of the fourth
Bullshit.
kind, acknowledged by the Condon study. Other such cases were excluded from the study even if they appear in the Condon Group's documents.
Most famous case.
Betty and Barney.
Absolutely. They
Yeah.
were not lying.
No.
No way.
They put something in my navel.
There is no way they were lying.
No.
Zero. Chance.
No. Betty and Barney are pretty legit. Like, she even wrote out a star chart, and it turned out to be
Yeah.
where it's supposed to be,
From,
man.
no, it's Earth
Pleiades, right? It was a Pleiades system.
from Alpha Centauri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Giacchini, I think that's why they're upset. They haven't had a good probe, and they should get more probed. Get probed, haters.
Mike?
Mike Giacchini.
Mike? Is that really you?
Yeah, that's Mike Giacchini.
That isn't how you spell his name, though.
Oh.
Mike, if that's really you, I love you, man. I've missed you so much.
It was Zeta Reticuli. Thank you, Lord Wren.
I love you, Mike, and I hope your marriage is going good. I love you, and I'm sorry I didn't go to your marriage. I was totally in the bottle. I love you, dude, if that's really you.
Oh, bless your heart.
One of the most prominent cases was ignored entirely, the Betty and Barney Hill abduction, which had come to light recently at this time. Shermer was hypnotized by Dr.
I didn't have a pizza, Samuel.
No, Shanny'd like a pizza if you could send one.
If there wasn't a pizza out there last time I looked at it. Rev, I don't think I'm who you're missing, but I love you too, brother. Ah, bless your heart.
Okay. All right, God bless you too, then.
You think the pizza's coming? Okay, well, we're here.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
Do you guys not like dogs?
I love dogs.
I like them.
I love dogs.
But I'm more of a cat person. Never really raised a dog, actually. Plus, Gavin's afraid of dogs. So I don't want to do that to Gavin and frighten him because of a dog in the house.
Leo Sprinkle, and later,
What kind of pizza? Mushroom and green pepper. Sounds good.
Cool.
Let's go back to the anal probing.
by researcher Warren Smith in the company of
My name is Leo Sprinkle here. I'm here to brighten your day with my sprinkles. Be sprinkly, folks. His name is Sprinkles.
For real?
Yes!
author Brad
Okay.
Steiger. Further details were retrieved in the later regression. Once regressed to the night of his encounter, Herb found himself at the moment the saucer was looming over him. He recalled trying to call the sheriff and found that his radio now appeared to be dead. The craft began to rise, with a red-orange glow beneath it. A bright white flash blinded Shermer for a moment. He felt stunned and shocked. His body began to tingle. Quote, the craft was moving over the highway about 40 feet in the air. It seemed that some great force was pulling the patrol car up the embankment towards where the craft was beginning to land.
Huh.
The car moved up to the top of the hill as the craft landed on tripod-like legs. When the car stopped, quote, a form came out from underneath the craft and started moving toward the car, and as the one being came to the front of the car, another one was coming out, and the one that was standing in front of the patrol car had a sort of box-like thing in his hand, and kind of flashed green all around the whole car.
Fuck that shit. Could you imagine you're driving and you see that shit?
Wild.
Dude, what would you do? What would you do?
Wild.
Do you want a Chuck E. Cheese pizza? Sure, Samuel.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Get a hold of us. Jason can give you all the information in chat. Because he's the chatter when I'm doing the producing.
And then one approached the car and reached in and touched me on my neck, at which I felt a sharp amount of pain,
Touched
and
me
then
on my
sort
neck?
of stood back and sort of moved his hand. And I just came up right out of
Aw,
the...
man, he's definitely coming on to him for the probing. He's just like, oh, yeah. That's a lovely looking piece of meat there. Jesus Christ, man.
the car, standing right in front of him, and he asked me, "Are you the watchman of this town?" And I said, "Yes, I am." The humanoid beings were described as
Jean-Luc Picard as the Borg. Oh my god. It's Locutus. I ain't kidding you folks, man. It's fucking Locutus. Like, I ain't lying about this shit. I mean, fucking Locutus, man. Like, Locutus. He drew fucking Jean-Luc.
That's nuts.
Dude.
That's nuts.
Dude. What the fuck?
That is nuts. Actually.
Did our radio waves get to them even before? Maybe their time, I don't know. But that's definitely fucking Jean-Luc.
Yeah. Yeah. That's wild and crazy.
Dude. That's cool, you're a Trekkie. Of course I am. Dude, like, what the fuck? Like, someone tell me how this happens.
Wild.
How could he draw Locutus before even Locutus was created? Yeah, they have to be time travelers, because that's definitely Locutus. Holy shit.
as having a very high forehead and a very long nose.
Well, apparently he has a very high forehead and a very long nose. We know who else has that, but we're not going to get into that. They're probably bitching and complaining. It's just a boring stream. It's not talking about the drama, because I'm mentally mature like a 15-year-old.
The eyes were sunken in and had the pupils of a cat's eye. They wore tightly fitted uniforms with a symbol on the left side of their chests, a red emblem of a serpent with wings.
So he had a badge with a serpent with red wings. Here, get a hold of... Can you put your email in?
Yeah.
Thank you. My husband's going to give you his email. You can talk to him on there. I'd love to see how Chuck E. Cheese pizza is. I haven't had that since I was like a wee little one.
Only the being's face was exposed, with its complexion a sort of grayish pink. The being...
Grayish pink. So the serpent is a grayish pink, like dead meat.
Weird.
I know, right?
That's pretty weird.
Fucking Locutus, man.
His mouth was small and slit-like. The being wore a kind of device with an antenna over one of its ears. The being...
Obviously, it was for communication. Why else would you have a freaking headpiece over your head with a little freaking antenna? Communication. Imagine being probed by Picard. Oh, I have. Many a times. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, Picard is handsome, smart, debonair, sincere, an awesome orator, and a lover of the fine arts. Amazing with a whistle.
Yeah, I often say if I were gay, I'd love Patrick Stewart.
See?
Like, I'd be in love with him.
See, you can't help it, though.
He's
it's
awesome. He's fucking great.
You know, he's not only Picard, but Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it even better.
Dude, and I'm telling you, we have it. Logan, the movie Logan?
Yeah.
Wow.
That
is a fucking great movie.
I know, right?
It's so good. You need to see it.
I do.
Because you slept and I watched it.
I did sleep.
Yeah.
Samuel says, check your email.
Okay.
Let's put this back on.
Mm-hmm.
He told Herb to come with him, and he was levitated toward the craft, as if he were walking on air.
He's walking on sunshine, yeah. And it feels so good. Hey, get a probe in. Yeah. Okay.
They reached a hatch on the side of the craft and floated inside to the first level. They entered a circular room, the walls lined with cylinders 4.5 feet tall and 2 feet.
Yeah, no timing out crazy crafted mom. Let her be the crazy girl she is. Blue, you're a fan. Shut the fuck up. You've been up my fucking rectum for how many years now? Shut the fuck up, Blue.
Feet wide. 2 cables ran through them, and they reminded Herb of tall batteries. In the center of the room was a cocoon spinning and emitting all the colors of the rainbow.
Oh my god! It's a gay Jean-Luc Picard! He's showing the rainbows! Yas! They really want me to shave my head. They're stupid. Anyway.
Cables
You're stupid!
ran from the cylinders into 2 blocks on either side of the cocoon. The beings walked Herb around the room in a circle. He asked, "What is this?" The being explained that this is how the craft operates, on a principle.
You're right. If it is a gay Jean-Luc Picard, it would be Dickard. You're right, Mike. You're right there.
That would be true.
Yeah. Dude. Like, you tell me this guy is lying about this shit when he's, like, putting, like, lettering and shit and, you know,
Of electrical
making some
reversible
kind of, like, Beavis and Butthead type of Jean-Luc Picard. But, I mean,
What?
hey, man.
magnetism.
The smart Beavis.
The
and
being
Butthead.
then told Herb to come with him and took him back to where they entered the craft. A glass sheet came down which the human and non-human stepped on, and the glass sheet elevated them into the second level of the craft. Quote,
So they stepped on an elevator. It was a glass sheet. No, that's a motherfucking elevator, idiot. Bro, it's an elevator.
"It was like red light inside, and this big cone was spinning, and there were all kinds of panels and computers. A conical object was in the center of the room, pulsating with a red glow.
Looks like a standard console for a ship. Alright. He did it, guys. He's given us the intel of the aliens.
Herb was shown a screen on the wall of the craft. One of the beings interacted with a control panel, and an image of a star system appeared. This is where we're from, Watchman. Herb...
Watchmen.
That's like the Big Dipper, I think. It looks like the Big Dipper almost.
The Dipper part of it, yeah.
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 This is where we come from, human. Do you want to be probed?
Herb stared at the map of a sun and 6 planets. The being said that they were from a nearby galaxy, but never said anything more. He also told...
Well, if it's a nearby galaxy, the closest one is Andromeda. So are they from Andromeda?
I want to see the rest of Andromeda, like the whole series.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Sorbo's awesome in that.
The
man.
Sorbo is great.
He's awesome in that.
No, we haven't seen the new Crow movie.
No. Why? Like, God.
Blue, can't you have fun with your life instead of bitching and complaining all the time? You're a fucking stoner. Act like it.
Isn't it that Sarsgaard guy, that the Pennywise dude that does the Crow now?
I don't know.
God,
I have no idea.
No. The Crow is Brandon Lee. Period.
Enjoy the space stuff.
told Herb
God.
that these
And be
beings had
mad.
been observing humans for a long time. He said that his race came to Earth to harvest electricity. The alien turned to another of his kind. The other being began pressing...
Why would you need to harvest electricity from the Earth when everything has electricity? Wow, these are stupid fucking aliens, I guess. That's weird.
Dumbass aliens.
Dumbass Jean-Luc Picard, gay-ass alien.
Jesus.
Wanting to probe this cop dude.
pressing some buttons. Watch, Watchman. An antenna on the outside of the craft aimed at a power unit and emitted a bolt of energy. The energy bolt was a color totally unknown to Herb. He says he can't even describe it. After 3 minutes, the strange bolt dissipated. The being turned back to Herb, and he felt, quote, an awful lot of roll of input of words, which he couldn't understand. The being reached up and touched Herb's shoulder, and Herb did the same to the non-human. He later
They
recalled...
touched each other's shoulders. Oh my god, it's like Brokeback Galaxy or something.
That's true. Christ.
I can't quit you.
Is that what we're doing here now?
I can't quit you too, human. You know what? Let's do some probing tonight.
Good Lord.
I promise you I'll give you the unbelievable intergalactic probing you'll ever have, boy. It'll be all romantic. I'll put on them fancy lights that you like. Give you a nice meal of gawk.
Cock.
You'll love it, man. You'll love it. Brokeback spaceship. Yeah, exactly.
being shocked that the being felt so real. They then went to the 3rd level of...
He felt real to you, huh? I bet he did, buddy. Woo! That felt so real. Oh. He thinks about it forever.
the craft, the observation deck. Herb saw some sort of window with control panels in front.
Then why don't you go watch it, Blue? Why don't you go watch it? I don't want to watch that. I want to watch this.
Front of it, with what looked like better dentist chairs facing the window. Quote, "They have been observing us for a long period of time, and they think that if they slowly put out reports and have their contacts state the truth, it will help them." He is explaining to a certain extent that they want to puzzle people.
This is the David Schwimmer
They know that
effect
they are
again.
being seen too frequently, and they are
Incredible.
They want to confuse us? The aliens want to confuse us? Why do you want to confuse me? Why are you playing head games with me, alien? I want to be real with you, man, and you just play it like you said you call and you never did. And then I saw you with another human, and you were doing the same thing with them. Dude, this alien is the nadir of aliens. What an asshole. Fuck you, alien.
are trying to confuse the public's mind. He is telling me that they want everyone to believe some in them, so we will be open to their invasion.
What amazing...
Ah, shut up, Microsoft. One of these days, I'm gonna get premium, and I never have to worry about a fucking commercial
into
ever
reality
again.
with an Azure free...
Eat me.
Shermer later explained that by invasion, he meant it would be the showing of themselves completely, not a hostile takeover. They looked outside and saw a being walking around his patrol car. Shermer's guide said something he was unable to comprehend before pointing at the stars. The being then said, "Watchman, one day you yourself will see the universe as I have."
Why you say that, dude?
He calls them watchmen.
Watchmen. I know,
It
right?
is in the Bible.
I know. Well, yeah, it's more in the book of Enoch, but
No. You're not understanding what I'm talking about.
huh.
The night watchman on the Temple Mount.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
Calling him a watchman. That's really, really interesting and cool.
That is.
The being then led the officer back to his patrol car as the entity which was outside boarded the craft. Shermer looked at his guide and felt as if something was being downloaded to his consciousness, an input he couldn't comprehend.
There's another person talking about that download shit that they do. They like give you like an unbelievable amount of information.
Yeah, David Icke
Yeah,
went through that.
exactly, man.
Jonathan Kleck went through that. You get a buzz and it's your fucking hairs on your shit stand up.
I find that interesting.
And then boom, you just know things.
Yeah.
His
Wild.
guide lifted his hand to make a sort of gesture to Shermer before returning to the craft and floating inside. The object began flashing before a red-orange glow came from underneath the object as it rose 100 feet in the air before ascending rapidly until it was out of sight. After the object's departure, feeling returned to Shermer. While he was aboard the object, he had, quote, hardly no feeling at all.
He was comfortably numb, as you like to say it.
Hell yeah.
Is mustard really an alien gel sauce that reactivates Londerman abilities? Only thing is, you must eat it. Probably, Tony.
Huh.
It's alien gel sauce. I could have alien gel sauce with my cheese and bread.
Huh.
I am Nephilim, Eileen. I am.
Come on, Eileen.
Rev, please check your email.
Okay.
Now his body was tingling, he was hot, perspiring, and he felt nauseated. He got back into his car and headed for the police station at a high rate of speed. He tried to radio the sheriff's office, but the radio was dead. After a battery
What a
of
sweetie
psychological
pie.
tests and evaluations,
Bless you.
You're a sweetie pie. Mwah.
Man, that's fast too. It's like gonna be here. Like
I love people. They're nice.
Kind people are amazing.
Kind people are the best.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Incredible. Incredibile.
Yeah, we want to see this stuff. I'm sorry you're so addicted to drama you can't expand your mind to anything else.
Investigators were forced to admit, quote, with aggression, his reality testing is marginal to good, and in view of other things, often surprisingly good. Condon investigator Roy Craig stated, the patrolman seemed quite sincere in presenting his report.
Condom investigator.
Psychologist Leo Sprinkle stated, Sergeant...
Leo Sprinkle said that David Schwimmer caused all this to happen, and I agree.
The David Schwimmer effect.
It's the Schwimmer effect. You get this?
Fucking Sprinkles here.
Pivot.
Could you imagine being a psychologist and your last name is Sprinkle?
Oh!
He had to get picked on so bad as a teenager.
Sure, Dr.
Hey,
Sprinkle.
Sprinkle. How you doing, Sprinkly Sprinkle?
What the fuck, dude?
You're here to give us rainbows again, Sprinkle? You little Sprinkle.
He was bullied, guaranteed. There's no doubt. He was bullied.
I know, right?
I stand with Dr. Sprinkle because he was bullied.
Yeah. Fuck you, anyone who's making fun of frickin' Sprinkles here.
And he wants everybody to know that the David Schwimmer effect is correct and accurate, and the TV show Friends changed reality. Do you realize that whole pivot scene literally caused an axis shift in the fucking planet? Do you get it? No, of course you don't.
So when they couldn't pivot the couch out, it
Yeah, it was
caused
pole shift.
it caused a chasm in the whole entire world.
That's it.
Did like it open up like a portal to the underground and it
Yes.
Okay.
It started releasing all that fucking Revelation 6 shit.
Poor Sprinkle. No wonder he became a psychologist. He's probably so ridden with people being assholes to him because his last name is Sprinkle.
Right?
Fuck it. Bastards.
Sergeant Shermer
Wow.
gave the appearance of being pleasant and cooperative. Despite this, Shermer's encounter was dismissed by the Condon study. Further details emerged during Shermer's second hypnosis session, including drawings of the entities and crafts which were created under
This is so clear
hypnosis.
what's going on.
Yeah, it is.
Sergeant Swimmer is Schwimmer. And in fucking whatever year that was, 1995, whatever, they're telling you from the 60s, time travel, okay? They saw in 95 when David Schwimmer said on the set of fucking Friends, pivot, it caused a goddamn pole shift. Do you get it? This is simple.
Skittle Sprinkle. Oh my god, that'd be so cute, Skittle Kisses.
I have to pee.
It's okay for a girl to be last name to be Sprinkle. That's cute.
That is cute.
But a guy, that's gotta be tough.
That's rough.
Oof.
As a male.
According to author Brad Steiger, something strange happened to Herb during the hypnosis. We asked him to make certain sketches and so forth, and then all of a sudden, the controls seemed to slip away instantly. I guess I shouldn't say slip away. It was an abrupt kind of thing, and he began to speak as though he were one of the occupants, and said he would be, from time to time, returning in one way or another to keep tabs on Herb.
Oh my god, it sounds like the Ponte. They wanna make sure Herb's okay. Wow.
Either it's a case of extreme identification or some sign of hypnotic contact that we seem to uncover as we probe deeper and deeper into the unconscious.
They're probing into his unconscious, man. I don't know what we could do about this.
Dr. Sprinkle stated, in a few cases, the UFO witness claimed to experience mental communication with UFO occupants at the moment of the interview.
Yeah.
I have no way of knowing whether the claim is true or whether the observer had been programmed to experience such a feeling when hypnotic.
Well, how could he be programmed over this stuff when that type of programming didn't exist, man?
Time regression procedures were followed. However, to the person, the experience was real. Shermer himself would later say, I should have probably asked some questions, but when that kind of thing happens, you just listen. I'm not even certain they are from the places they said. This might be something to throw us off guard. Shermer's description of the interior of the UFO differs greatly from the common description given by experiencers, abductees, and alleged witnesses to crashed or landed UFOs retrieved by the powers that be.
George Soros.
This case is incredibly bizarre. Brad Steiger himself admitted that
Yes, Mike, I will do the Chuck Bane.
this
Brad
was
Steiger.
not the most convincing abduction case. Perhaps it was a bit too strange, even for him. That
How do you know? That's fire in the sky.
Hell yeah.
said,
that
there
movie.
are numerous similarities with other cases. The beings paralyzing the witness, the presence of the box-like object carried by the
Yeah.
beings, the bizarre statements made by the entities. This absurdity has been well documented by Jacques Vallée. The destruction
Jacques
of
Vallée.
Herb's personal life mirrors many other close encounter witnesses whose reputations were tarnished by the experience. I previously discussed Sheriff Dale Sporer, whose life was
You know what? Who cares if your reputation is tarnished by a bunch of fucking assholes? You know why, dude? You're an OG. You're an original.
Pro B.
Okay? Pro B, yeah.
You see? I'm going to say that Fire in the Sky gave me serious night terrors as a kid.
Me too,
It
man.
really,
I
really-
really, like, it was scary as shit. I remember my dad, I was sitting next to my dad and he was watching it. He was loving it. But I couldn't handle it, man.
Upended after engaging in a high-speed chase after a UAP with multiple other independent officers, even across state lines. Though he was far from the only witness, he was focused on by the media, and his life was ruined, much like Shermer's. The beings described by Shermer are not typical, not your typical gray alien, but there is some precedent for similar humanoids in the close encounter literature.
Ascension WoW is a standalone World of Warcraft private server that reimagines WoW in a brand new way.
Christ.
The UFO abduction
Why? Why is that game still going?
I could have had a girlfriend before you if it wasn't for WoW. You know? I hung out with my buddies one time at Adventure Games, right? It was to meet her, right? And I bought her a little Amazon box dude and shit. I got her a gift for her birthday and everything. No, I can't hang out right now because I have to do WoW.
It says check your email.
I'm like, holy shit! Do you just play WoW? Jesus,
Yeah.
it dominates lives. WoW.
I get you, Skittle Kisses. People
Fucking
complaining
sucks.
about watching stuff they aren't being forced to watch is wild to me. I know, they think it's my responsibility
Oh, okay.
to, like,
Thank you.
change things. Like, find something else to watch.
abductions of Filiberto Cardenas stand out from the majority of abduction cases. Lieutenant Colonel Wendell Stevens, who investigated this case, stated that this case is an important contribution to the body of UFO literature, because this may be the first case on record where the original abductee was able to successfully introduce another person into the contact events and to actually take them aboard an alien spacecraft with him. This case also received the attention of Dr. J. Allen
You
Hynek.
see a bunch of guys
The main
talking about the
witness.
same event and then say they're lying about it? I don't know.
Yeah, this is pretty serious for the person that's emailing me. If it says delivered, cancel the order because somebody else got it. There's no food out there.
Nope.
So you're gonna want to call the store or something because we didn't get food.
Meghan Markle? Ew. Yuck, I would never do her for Halloween.
Oh, I do Prince Harry.
Yeah, you could do Prince Harry. I don't want to do that.
I'll do
Ugh.
Prince Harry all day.
Filiberto was a Cuban exile living in
scares
Hialeah,
me,
Florida,
'Cause see,
with
the
his
truth
wife
about me
Iris.
is I'm the rejected Windsor.
Oh, okay.
Literally. Look at my grandmother. It's the Queen. I swear to God.
It should be on the screenshot.
There's no food outside. There's no food outside. So you're going to have to call the store and get your money back. What are you talking about?
That's the right address.
There's no food, dude. So you have issue. You got to call the store.
Yeah.
Because they delivered to somebody else, obviously.
That's interesting. Anyway.
Keep me up to date. I'll keep my email open, you know? And thank you, you know?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for trying, but sometimes things happen, you know?
You want the Chuck Bane? I want the Chuck Bane too.
And their kids. He was the owner of a successful gift shop. However, after his encounter, he would sell his business to pursue the UFO topic, forever changed by his abduction experience. On the evening of January 3rd, 1979, Filiberto was in his gift shop when he received a phone call from his friend Fernando Marti. Fernando asked if he would come with him to a farm, as he was looking to buy a pig and would like Filiberto's help with transporting it. Soon, his friend Fernando
Listen, dude, I need a pig right now. I'm wondering if you could help me transport these piglets.
Now, see, we have a pop culture tie-in here from our era.
Yes.
The year is what? 1979. What's that? That's Pumpkins.
Yup.
Billy Corgan knows this shit. He knows all about this shit. Okay? Why do you think Billy's so weird? He gets it.
They said it was delivered at the garage door?
What? What?
What? That is insane.
Okay, one sec.
Why would you deliver it at the garage door and not the front door? That's really dumb. He's looking too.
Getting trolled.
I think you are getting trolled.
You're getting trolled.
Yeah. Well, the thoughts is what counts, I guess.
Yeah, I have us completely diverted in attention to my email when they're just trolling us.
I know. Alright, well, let's continue on with the show.
If you're not, call the store and get your money back, or go to DoorDash and get your money back because they delivered it somewhere else. We don't have any food.
No.
Fernando,
Sorry.
his wife, and their daughter arrived at Filiberto's gift shop. Together, they rode in Filiberto's vehicle, but Fernando took the wheel because Filiberto was exhausted. They visited merchants at 2 farms, but they were unable to locate a pig. Defeated, they were on their way back home, returning to Highway Route 27, when all of the vehicle's lights went out and the engine stalled. The vehicle came to a halt. Fernando tried to restart the car, but the engine appeared to be dead, so the men got out to check the engine. Fernando, who was a mechanic, had no idea why the car was unable to run. He could see nothing wrong with it. While looking under the hood of the car, they heard a strange buzzing noise, as if they were surrounded by many thousands of bees, Filiberto would later say. A beam of light shone down from a strange craft hovering in the sky, illuminating Filiberto and the exposed engine of his vehicle.
Thanks, man. I needed that light on my engine. Thanks, dude. Hey, man.
A lot of this could be made up from just scenes like the Close Encounters.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Hey, Spielberg knew shit. He still knows shit. He's been to Epstein Island several times.
Ugh.
He knows stuff.
Boy.
He's with all the elites. So, it wouldn't surprise me.
They have an addiction to innocent. They have an addiction to innocence that's very perverse and fucked.
I know.
And I pray for them to repent.
They like seeing innocence go out of someone's eyes.
Oh, man.
Some people are sick that way.
Crowley.
The buzzing sound and the strange lights magnified simultaneously. The car itself began shaking, with Mrs. Marty and her daughter still inside. Mrs. Marty grabbed her daughter and threw herself over her, shielding her body as they...
Okay, so the mother and the daughter are saying it happened.
They both screamed. Fernando would later state, "At that moment, the engine began to reflect different
I
colors.
see.
Red,
I'm not
violet,
even gonna-
blue,
I
orange,
see.
and then a bluish
Just
white.
let it go.
I tried to
Disgusting
move, but I was
fucking
paralyzed in
asshole.
position, unable to do anything,
You're a
even
fucking
unable to
piece
move
of
my
shit.
arms.
Trash.
I could hear the screams of the women in the car. I looked down and saw that I was suspended in the air and rising. When I was 8 to 10 feet above the car, everything went dark, and I don't remember what happened." Fernando, seeing the bizarre football-shaped object, felt himself become weightless and threw himself over the exposed hood of the car. He held on and watched as Filiberto levitated toward the object.
What mechanism is causing these people to levitate like that? Yeah. I just don't care anymore.
The light disappeared along with Filiberto, and Fernando felt himself go back to normal.
God's judgment.
He looked up to see a bulky object that ascended and then moved away. Fernando would later state, "I would find it hard to believe if I read about it in a newspaper, but I was there with my wife and daughter. We were all terrified by the light and the noise. When it ended, Filiberto had vanished." Fernando quickly got back inside the car, but it took several tries to get the engine to run, and even then it was very weak, as if it were out of gasoline. Fernando quickly drove to the highway, looking for somewhere he could...
Dude, they stole his fucking gas and left. We need electricity. We need your fuel.
And then see God comes through with a real person.
Thank you.
That's how that works.
Thank you. We'll get our pizza. I know exactly where to go.
Unbelievable.
We're going to Domino's.
Unreal.
I know. You want to talk to the people so I can order Domino's?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry, honey, for such evil motherfuckers.
People are evil. There's nothing I can do about it. And I've tried. But they just want to go and call you out. They want to make you look bad while using you as a straw man when they're really just a horrible entity in this world.
I'm saying to them, you made a God thing happen right now.
Yeah.
You did.
call the
Thank
police, and along the way, the engine began running smoothly again. He was scared that the police wouldn't believe him, or worse, that he would be accused of kidnapping Filiberto, but still headed to the nearest gas station to call. After reporting the incident to the police, he then called Filiberto's wife, Iris, who cried on the phone as he struggled to explain what happened to...
Did Filiberto ever come back?
Umberto.
Like, I just don't care anymore. Like,
Can't do it.
Whatever, I hope you feel bad.
to her husband, given that he couldn't comprehend it himself.
They live for that to
He
make
said,
it feel that way.
a light
Yeah.
took Filiberto away.
Boom.
Alien abduction was the farthest thing from Iris's mind when Fernando told her that a light took Filiberto away. She thought that he was trying to tell her that they ran a red light and had a car accident, injuring her husband. As Fernando reached the city, he saw a patrol car and stopped to tell the police sergeant about the abduction. The police then contacted Homestead Air Force Base, who sent an aircraft to investigate the abduction site. Iris began driving, looking for the scene of the supposed accident she thought Filiberto was in. After 2 hours and over 15 miles away, Filiberto began to regain consciousness. In a debilitated state, he couldn't believe what just happened to him.
Way better.
The next thing I remember is waking up to consciousness on my hands and knees and two bright lights rushing at me. I heard brakes screeching and tires skid, and the lights swerved and came to a stop. I was helped from the road by a man taking my collar and leading me off the road. I learned later that this was near 137th Avenue, some 16 miles from where my car stalled. Filiberto seemed to be only half conscious and extremely exhausted. He was sweating profusely as the stranger led him away from the road. This good Samaritan found a telephone and reported the incident to the police.
Testimonies. Like,
Patrolman William Christian arrived.
Yeah, there's no reason for this dude to lie.
I'm really, really inclined to believe it.
I'm always inclined to believe them.
No, not always. No. Like, but this is going way back, and there's only negative
Yeah,
that came from saying this happened to me.
that's true.
You know, now, if you come out as an abductee, you can make money on it.
That's true.
You can definitely make bank on it. If you can write a book or have a ghostwriter write your book, you can make lots of money. There was zero motivation for these people to come out. It's the opposite. Like, if they came out and said this happened to me, they were ostracized to the point of losing their job.
That's true.
Like this stuff's real, I think. I'm very much inclined to believe it.
You want any carrot cake? Or cheesecake?
No.
Okay.
That's you that would want that. I'm not eating that trash shit. I'm not doing it. I'm not eating it. I'm not. That's you that would want that.
It is so me. I'm like...
and then you'll buy it and not eat it, and then I'll eat it.
That's usually how it goes.
That's how it goes, because you don't eat it. You're like, I want the carrot cake. No, you don't. No, you don't. But then you buy it, and then I end up eating it.
You lie, Shannon.
What's the deal? It's fine. But the fact is, I'm probably going to end up eating it when I'm really hungry, you know? So just don't get it. You know?
That's true.
I wanted to get you ice cream, but the prices of ice cream? Holy schneisen.
All right. I'll let you do the money thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he controls money.
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't.
I don't control money at all.
What? It's a pizza with mushrooms and green peppers.
Boom.
Shit's awesome.
Sweet shit. And this is the best pizza place in the area.
It is.
It just is.
It just is.
That's what I said to Joe Biden. Joe, if you need some good pizza, you got to go to Scranton Pizzeria.
That's right.
That's your deal,
Scranton
Joe.
Pizzeria, I recommend if you're in the Scranton area, try it.
Hell yeah.
It's really fucking good.
It's very good.
And it's good pricing, too.
Yeah.
And it's not full of the sodium that the other shit has.
Oh my
This
God,
is like,
that's it.
It's like a New York pizza.
Yeah.
And they got killer calzones.
Yes, they do.
Oh.
It's the best pizza place in our area. And it's the most reasonably priced, too.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. Hashtag Scranton Pizzeria rules.
That's right.
Arrived at the scene and picked Filiberto up. At the time, Filiberto did not dare tell the policeman what he knew for fear of being considered crazy, so he told him he had no idea what happened. He doubted his own memories of what transpired.
Filiberto's like, I don't know what happened, man. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
There
Shut
was.
up. Leave me alone.
Shut up. There's no probing happened, okay?
Just leave me alone.
My butthole is still a virgin. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
Cat Williams. You know.
He's like, I don't want to talk about it.
I gave up $200 million to keep my asshole virgin. That'd be
Three
me.
times.
3 times $50 million. That'd be me too.
Yep.
As
I
UAPs
no.
and non-human beings were completely outside of his view of reality.
But it kind of tells you what Kevin Hart's been down with.
Oh yeah.
The actual police report states that Fernando and Filiberto's stories corroborate one another, and that
So they actually put police reports and they corroborated. This shit happened.
Yes. It happened.
This shit happened, dudes.
the reporter and the witness believe the witness was picked up in a spacecraft. Close encounter of the third kind was written on the police report.
Yeah,
Filiberto
wow.
would later state, before this
Holy
happened,
shit.
Now we know where he got the story.
Yes. They, in police reports, they use that phrase. Close encounter of the third kind.
Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Isn't that interesting they call it the third kind?
Yeah. Well, there's an explanation out there of those. The different
true.
First kind, second kind, third kind. And there's a work out there called the fourth kind, which is, that's beyond, like, you really don't want to know what that is. Fully.
True.
Close encounter of the fourth kind.
Hi, Becca. How are you?
I scoffed
Like
at
you're fucking
UFOs.
gray, aliens
Now
to
I
make
know
a hybrid.
differently. After hearing Filiberto's story, the police wanted him tested for radiation exposure, along with a medical examination.
Oh.
He was taken from the police station to a clinic, where he met with his family.
I bet he has a lot of radiation in him. Like the guys in England, UK.
Rendlesham Forest.
Rendlesham Forest, yes. They have cancer now because of the radiation they got by touching a spacecraft.
Yep.
But see, that would make sense. It's full of radiation since there's no filter in space
Yeah.
for radiation, really.
Yeah. True.
One of the nurses involved in Filiberto's care, who wished to remain anonymous, later stated, "At first I didn't believe it, but later, after carefully observing the patient and hearing the events that had transpired, I am changing my opinion and believe that they are telling the truth. They had some type of experience. What impressed me the most was the daughter. Though she didn't say anything, her face reflected her fear.
There you go.
There you go, the little girl. Little kids can't lie from trauma.
They don't.
Nah.
They don't lie.
Nah.
That's why I'm inclined to believe the Fatima thing.
Yep.
I really am, and I always felt like that's real.
Because of the kids. And then there's that school in Africa where they saw
I was thinking of that.
You were thinking of that too? Ah, cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, we still have our cats.
Yeah. They're chilling out upstairs.
Yeah, they're just having a time together.
Yeah.
They're in love.
Private time for the babies. They'll come down soon and go, could I have foots?
Becca, I'm thinking this is probably a condescending question since you're asking me. I have a question.
That was the asshole.
One of the nurses,
That's what I'm
speaking to
thinking.
Iris, told her that she came from Puerto Rico, where she heard a report of 2 little girls being abducted.
Why don't you have Shanny shave her head? Huh?
Do you
Huh?
realize that God is going to cut you down?
Iris was deeply unnerved by this, seeing as she had children of her own. After seeing the police documents and hearing of Filiberto's abduction from the witnesses, one of the nurses immediately called the doctor. Dr. Fernando Grosso assumed that Filiberto must be a drunk or a drug addict, but as he heard out the witnesses,
Why is he a
began
drunk
to
or a
suspect
drug
they were telling
addict
the
just
truth.
because he had a third encounter? God, that's what they always assume. Your teeth are bad. You must be a drug addict.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not talking normally like other people do. You must be on drugs. Gaslighting in the finest.
Yo. Do you know telling me that I'm drinking when I'm not is the worst form of gaslighting?
Oh, I know. Fuck people. They're assholes.
Truth. He noted the unmistakable fear on their faces. I looked at them and asked, "Are you telling me the truth, or is this all a big lie?" But each one had the same story, so I came to the conclusion that it was not a lie.
There you go. If they have the same story, why would you assume they're lying? Especially when it's dealing with their own personal life. Ah, disco tits, I'm sorry. He called 911 because he thought he saw an alien, but it turned out to be a deer because he was stoned. That's sad, man.
From the beginning, Filiberto had been telling me that he felt bad. Then I took his blood pressure and it was normal. I noticed 3 superficial abrasions and burns, one in the middle of his forehead and the others on the sides.
Oh my god, they burned his forehead and the sides of his head?
What?
Oh! No! No!
Some wild shit.
Ah. Bros. This should not be.
He was weak, and he said his legs felt very much unstable. I noted that he was a little nervous and excited. The Marti family seemed to have calmed down now. Mirta Marti told me about something like a light, very bright, that enveloped them as she screamed to Fernando and Filiberto. His medical records showed that he complained of pains in both knees and out-of-focus vision in the last hour. 108 small pricks were found all over his body.
Ow! They were putting needles all over his ass, man.
Dude, I've seen marks on you and myself that were
Me
really
too.
weird.
Like it looked like I got inoculated, like on my arm several times.
And on your thigh there was once like a 3 dots perfect triangle.
yeah, I've seen shit like that on my body too.
Yep. And we've had lost time.
We have had lost time.
I don't care. Take my genetics and make a fucking hybrid. I don't have any fucking progeny. So actually, I'm open to aliens taking my fucking cum and shooting up an alien chick with it. Because I don't have any fucking progeny. Have it be from Venus then. Sure.
No, Chase, we're alien beeson. We're alien bison.
We're
right
alien
now.
bison, and it's fun as shit, actually.
Yes, I've seen the fourth kind. It's so freaking scary, man. That you still haven't seen that movie.
No. I was just talking about that.
It's got Mila in it. She's great.
No, she's not.
I have such a girl crush on her.
Yeah, you really do.
I do.
I'm not at all. Nothing.
I'm like 5'10".
She's
Yas.
way too skinny for me. It's just a zero. No attraction. She's really cool as Lilu, though. Is that her name, Lilu?
Yes.
Eh,
In
Fifth Element.
Yes,
That's
it's
a
Lilu.
crazy cool fucking movie.
My name is Lilu.
I love the way she talks. She's so cute.
See, you would think she's cute. A bada
Yeah.
boom. Bada boom.
A big boom.
Big bada
Oh
boom.
my god, that's awesome. And Bruce Willis is like, wow, you're fucking cute. He's driving his cab and she comes through his fucking... what the fuck was that? Hey!
Just a naked woman falling from the sky. Hey, just exactly what I wanted.
What is that? Wow, okay. This is a lucky day. I have a good day. Bruce Willis forever.
Right?
Okay, I wanted to be him. Oh my god.
You wanted to be Brucey Poo?
John McClane.
You want to be him
Hard.
now?
God bless him.
I know, right?
And I pray for his healing.
He loves his grandbabies, though. He's having so much fun with his family.
He got thrown around as like a bad dude, and he's just not.
Nah, he's just a good old family guy.
Yeah,
is how
he
I
really
see it.
is. Yeah. A good man, you know?
Right?
His name was Trap.
I mean, he was married with Demi for 20-something years or
Right.
something like that. That's a good guy.
Definitely. Yeah. Thick and thin.
Yeah, and Demi got a crush on Ashton Kutcher and was like, later, Bruce, I gotta get...
That's really not nice.
I know, right?
What would Greg Moore say about that?
I don't know.
Well, Billy Montana here, folks.
Phil, you're an asshole. Billy Montana. Okay, let's play this.
I love Billy. Shout
An
out to
abrasion
Billy
was found on
Montana.
his forehead
Talk
and a
America,
yellow
USA.
lesion on his right shoulder.
A yellow
days
lesion
following
on
the
his
incident-
right shoulder. I just said I had a mark on my shoulder. That looked like it was an inoculation.
And we also have lost time.
Yes, we have.
Both of us. At the same time.
I know.
And Filiberto dealt with various odd symptoms. His shoulders, face, and chest burned. He had pain in his eyes, and they were incredibly sensitive to light, so much so that he couldn't go outside in daylight. Even after a week in seclusion, his eyes were still afflicted.
Really?
He was excessively thirsty and profusely sweating.
That could be diabetes.
I mean, yeah.
That's true. That maybe maybe the aliens gave him the beaties.
What the?
Boy, you never know. And yes, I can talk about diabetes because I had it before when I was pregnant twice.
His body odor smelled like sulfur.
That's it.
Sulfur
Demons.
body odor.
Demons.
Well, that's what they say those fucking little grays smell like, is like sulfur.
No.
And
dude.
Hillary Clinton.
I am telling you right now, when I got saved in 2004, man, I have to give a full account of everything I remember now from that.
His body odor smelled like shit. Egg farts.
Sulfur.
That's what sulfur smells like, egg farts.
So do demons.
Yeah.
Demons smell like sulfur.
Experienced temporary memory problems, hot and cold flashes. His urine was
Hot and cold flashes? He's going through menopause now.
Symptoms.
Remember the times I say I'm hot and cold at the same time and it's driving me literally insane?
Yeah.
That happens with perimenopause.
Hey.
What?
Symptoms of radiation sickness.
It could be that too.
was
I'm telling you,
reportedly a
that's it.
very dark yellow-brown and had a
Ooh, okay. He's having a kidney problem. Okay, dark yellow pee, sweaty, nauseous.
I'm nauseous.
Dizzy.
I'm nauseous.
His blood sugar. Get the dude some orange juice.
No,
Jesus.
it's radiation sickness.
It could be that. I think it's the beaties.
Because he got probed
Nah, man.
by a radioactive rod.
Yeah, but maybe it caused his blood sugar to spike.
And say the Israeli government has used the tactics now of aliens with probing people in the ass and giving a jolt of electricity. Cattle prod.
Huh.
That's insane. That's a war crime.
57% now say they didn't get probed.
All right.
Maybe you should get probed. Maybe you'd be a happier person. I know getting a good probing makes me happy. Sounds like the guy is dehydrated. Could be that too. But if you're on a spaceship the whole time and they don't know that a human needs water. Lily, oh man, Jenny, you ain't lying. Burning on the inside, then freezing on the outside. So over it. I know, right? He's like sweating his ass off today. And I'm like, I'm freezing.
A very bad odor. In the doctor's opinion, quote, I do not think it is a fraud.
There you go.
They were sent here by the police, suggesting that they...
There, you got doctor's orders saying it's not a fraud.
It's not.
Okay, what about the
be
radiation
tested
test?
for radioactivity. Since I could not do the test, I sent them to Jackson Memorial Hospital. The witnesses drove to Jackson Memorial, which also lacked the equipment to test Filiberto's radiation exposure. Homestead Air Force Base was contacted, and they sent an expert to test Filiberto. While waiting for the Air Force expert to arrive, the witnesses were sitting in a waiting room when they were informed that the hospital was getting calls seeking information about the abduction.
Ah, the trolls got to it. Oh, did you hear the guy was probed? Let's call the hospital. Hey, can we go and break the law and get this information on this patient here, sir? You can't speak about it. What do you mean? I need a signed document.
Government-run trolls.
Exactly.
Oh.
Even some radio stations were calling. Filiberto
Radio stations were calling? Hey, you heard that guy? And that other guy got probed by aliens? Let's call the radios. Let's call the hospital, see what happened.
refused to speak to any of them. Eventually, the Air Force personnel arrived and conducted Filiberto's radiation exposure test. He told them that he did not detect any radioactivity on Filiberto's body, but that doesn't rule out the possibility that Filiberto was exposed, because oftentimes the reaction appears days later.
Okay.
Ah!
All right.
So the radiation kind of swafts off you, but yet you'll still have the symptoms of it. Like your cells absorb it or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Discotix, thank you for throwing some money in our Cash App, bros.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Much love.
Thank you. My love. Probe Rev. Pleasey baby. He doesn't like
Do
getting...
you realize I am a 0 on the Kinsey scale, heterosexual?
There you go.
Yeah. Probe your fucking self.
The hospital wanted Filiberto to stay several days so he could be monitored, but he refused. He just wanted to go home. The hospital asked Filiberto to inform them immediately if he felt anything abnormal. When Filiberto arrived home, he was swarmed by reporters.
Jesus Christ. The dude just got freaking abducted. He got probed. He don't feel good. And you stupid reporters come swarming him at his house like the freaking paparazzi. Leave the dude alone. Let him heal, man.
The surprise I received upon arriving home was greater than the surprise of what had happened to me. The lights of the television crews hurt my eyes. I was trapped in my house. The day after the encounter, Dr. Virgilio Sanchez, an attorney and UFO investigator...
My name is Virgilio. I want that name, Virgilio.
Fidelio.
Fidelio?
Thank you, sir.
I am Fidelio.
No, that's the password in Eyes Wide Shut.
Fidelity.
Fidelio.
Yeah.
That's the password.
I am Fidelity.
To get into the orgy. Remember?
Yeah, but why do they have to say fidelity to get into an orgy? Because that's technically not fidelity.
Well, but Fidelio is a word in music. Right? In classical music, Fidelio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Began looking into Filiberto's case. Lieutenant Colonel Wendell Stevens and Dr. Sanchez would later publish a book on the
Wait a minute,
case.
pause it.
UFO
You know
abduction.
how smart you are.
Huh.
You are fucking brilliant, because I never thought of this. The password to get into the orgy is fidelity.
I know.
That's sick, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's
That's
fucked up.
Crowley shit.
I know it is.
You're fucking smart, man.
Thank you.
Abduction from undersea. From 1979 until 1982, we studied an abduction case which required a staggering amount of work to complete. After careful review, we were convinced that a UFO contact and abduction had taken place. The case was investigated by a special team of professionals, including engineers, doctors, a psychologist, a neurologist, and a professional hypnotist.
Engineers? Oh, why engineers? Exactly.
Because they knew something was up with this
Yeah,
shit.
they're like, let me take your technology and what your thoughts on
God,
it
I
is.
wish we could know what your dad knew. Because I guarantee he knew shit.
And he wasn't allowed to say.
No, right.
Hi, Sarah.
God, sorry.
It also
His
received
stomach.
the special
Fuck.
attention of the late Dr. J. Allen Hynek, who maintained contact and advised us at difficult moments when we needed his cooperation. The witness was found to be perfectly normal in every respect, except for the body marks, skin abrasions, and systemic dysfunctions resulting directly from the UFO contact.
At Fiverr, we offer
I don't care,
3D
Fiverr.
rendering services.
We got some
But you
situation
probably
with
are.
your professionals doing
On January
things.
18th, a little over 2 weeks after Filiberto's abduction, Dr. Sanchez received a phone call from Filiberto telling him that he must come quick because something strange just happened.
Dirty Sanchez.
That evening, Filiberto's family was enjoying a visit from 2 of their friends. Their friends sat in the sunroom as Iris and her daughter were in a different room, and Filiberto was outside grilling. In mid-conversation, the couple happened to catch a glimpse of a strange figure darting across the room just 10 feet away.
You'd be rebuked in the name of Jesus Christ if you did that in my household.
Ooh.
Saw someone walk by the house. Sorry. I get paranoid sometimes.
It appeared to be in mid-flight and disappeared into the hallway. When Iris and Filiberto...
That's a ghost. That ain't no alien. So aliens and ghosts are like connected to each other, huh?
Obviously.
What if what we think are ghosts are actually aliens in like a suit to observe us? And sometimes they mess with us by saying, die, or get out of here.
Maybe.
came back.
Squash.
The witnesses told them not to be scared, but explained the strange apparition they just saw. They described it as a tall figure without a definitive body. It was all white, and looked to possibly be wearing some sort of fabric, like a cape. They could not see its feet, but it did not appear to be walking at all. Instead, it floated. When the witness...
So it's a tall guy in a cape, just floating. Superman, dude. Kal-El, man.
That works.
Because Superman is an alien.
Yes. accurate. He fell to earth. He's a fallen angel.
Yep.
That's why people like to say Superman is like a type of Christ. No, it's the opposite. He's a type of a fallen angel. That's what he is. But again, that's inversion.
Dracula aliens, Lady Bracknell. Now that's an idea.
Witness stood where they saw the
Energy
apparition.
vampire.
They felt very cold, and their hair stood on end. Everyone present, including the investigators,
Well, yeah, that's usually what happens when you see a ghost.
Yeah.
felt the same sensations when standing in that spot. This is another common pattern among
Trippy.
paranormal
Blink, blink.
experiences.
Blink, blink.
On January 27th, Filiberto was hypnotized for the first time by Dr. Jose Yadra, who had never dealt with an abduction case before. At one point, he poked Filiberto with a needle to ensure he was fully hypnotized, and not a single muscle on Filiberto's face moved. Despite
Not a
this,
finger.
during questioning, the hypnotherapist was met with resistance time and time again by Filiberto, who refused to answer certain questions because they ordered him not to yet. They wanted him to wait.
They ordered him not to?
They.
Who is they?
That's always the question. Who is they?
I know. We like to talk about them a lot, too.
Paranoid schizophrenics always use they.
They, yes.
They do.
Wait exactly 3 months because they were going to abduct 7 more people, and others would have experiences exactly 3 months later. Dr. Sanchez writes,
What? He found the people that got abducted, too? Whoa.
This is some close encounters stuff.
Dude, this is crazy, bro.
Barry!
that he documented an abduction case in Brazil exactly 3 months after Filiberto's experience. Once regressed, he found himself after he was taken by the light. Filiberto was unable to move, paralyzed in a strange seat by an unknown force which seemed to suction him to the spot. He began scanning his surroundings, and it appeared that he was in a small room with 3 odd human-like figures at his side. They were of small stature, a little smaller than Filiberto, and they were dressed in very tight-fitted bluish-white one-piece suits.
That's it.
You know who else wears bluish white one-piece suits?
Who?
Scientologists.
Oh, you're right. Xenu.
They might be part of Xenu.
They're from fucking Xenu.
They're Xenu worshippers.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Xenu probably is a real god.
maybe.
Because L. Ron Hubbard was in with Parsons and Crowley, and they channeled beings,
They
man.
did, dude.
They brought beings through portals.
Which left only an
Crowley's
aperture for their faces. Their faces were very similar to humans, but their eyes were elongated.
Demons.
Their noses smaller and flatter than ours,
Demons.
and they had long, nearly lipless mouths. They seemed to wear a sort of apparatus on their right ear with an antenna.
Yeah, it's a communication device. It's not that hard to figure out what that is.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Anya.
I'm loving the way the green light is looking because it's like a Marilyn Manson Smells Like Children video right now.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I feel like I have a hair in my eye. God, I can't wait for the cats to stop shedding.
I know. It's been a rough one.
It has been.
2 looked very similar to humans. Filiberto noted that they seemed alive. The third being, though humanoid in form, looked to Filiberto more like a robot.
There's that other thing that they like to say is the Greys are actual robots.
Yeah, Doc Marquis.
Yep.
Yeah. They're actually synthetic beings
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
created by the
exactly.
government
Exactly.
to freak the shit out of people.
That's really dumb. Why would you do that to people?
Well, to create fear.
You got banned? No. That ain't happening again, sweetheart. Now you're protected.
That sketch looks like the characters from The Day the Earth Stood Still. In the old movie.
That does.
It really does.
One of the beings approached, holding a strange helmet in his hands, which was placed on Filiberto's head. It felt as if the helmet were full of small needles that reached down to his shoulders.
Fuck.
These beings began
Ow.
speaking to Filiberto
Man.
in a language which sounded
They like the helmets they wear have like needles in them, probably to get to your brain or something. I don't know. Ooh, no, fuck that shit.
Man.
Thank you, Mike.
Looking like Tinky Winky in real life.
Tinky Winky.
What a trip of a show, man.
Da-
That's a trip of a show.
La la.
Jerry Falwell said it was homosexual propaganda.
I remember that. Look, if that's supposed to be a male and he's wearing a purple bag,
What?
I'll tell you that's a homosexual.
Jerry, you're thinking about gayness too much. Okay? That's the problem, hun. Way too many of these Christians are closeted gays. They got issue.
That's all they think about is like sex shit. It's like calm
Yeah.
the fuck down, guys.
And they're all worked up over trans stuff because God forbid they get attracted by a male in drag.
yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? I'm a fucking straight heterosexual male. But I have to stop every guy from ever dressing in drag because, well, it moved in my pants the
There
one
you go.
time. You know what I mean?
It gave me the feeling of urges, you know what I mean.
Those urges.
Let's continue on.
sounded like German. They realized that Filiberto didn't understand them, and the speaker rotated a button on the side of his chest and began speaking English and then Spanish, which Filiberto could understand.
Dude,
They got like
Auto-translator.
an auto translator.
that's in my book before.
Oh, let me. Hola. Hello. Yeah, I think I got the right language here. How are you doing?
That's awesome.
Hey, buddy. Shh. No. No. I want one.
That's like the you're thinking of the.
Furbies made you gay, Miss Pickles? Hey.
Well, I
It's okay.
I could imagine what that means. Because when you feed him, right? You feed him a few times and he starts vibrating.
Right?
Oh, I know what that means. Naughty girl.
Bonjour, Monomoto.
That's it.
What? Oh, he's peeing.
The other beings seemed to be testing his body, possibly causing the 108 tiny pricks later found during the medical examination. The helmet was removed, and Filiberto was locked inside another chamber with no windows. After some time, he felt
They should have kept he kept in a chamber with no windows. Ah, no, I'd go crazy. I do not like being locked up, man. I go crazy.
felt a familiar weightless feeling, as if he was flying in the air. Soon, the door was opened, and the three beings led Filiberto into a larger room. The walls were very bright, and reminded Filiberto of some kind of lucite material or transparent resin acrylic. He had the sense that this was some sort of control room. This is where Filiberto allegedly met a taller being sitting on a throne-like chair. He appeared to be the leader of these beings.
Oh my god. Dude. This just totally reminded me of it. Dude. Okay, you know how in Invader Zim, the taller beings are the ones who become the leaders?
Mm-hmm.
It literally is like this in this guy's like vision of these. Like there's like this taller being in a throne-like chair, and he appears to be a leader. Invader Zim was speaking the truth about the taller beings. So, aliens, I know I'm taller than your motherfucking asses. Can I be your leader? I want to get off this planet, so like I'll do like whatever I need to, man.
Me too.
Warriors.
Leader wore a cape and an odd necklace with a triangular stone which rotated in multiple directions. The bright light from the wall obscured Filiberto's vision enough that he couldn't discern the entity's face. He began speaking to Filiberto in Spanish. Filiberto felt telepathic input directly to his mind.
In
He received
Spanish?
feelings, thoughts, and knowledge.
In Spanish. He got a download in Spanish.
Habla inglés.
Dude, I want a language translator like that, dude.
It's in my book.
No, I wouldn't punt the aliens. Why would I punt them? So much violence.
The auto translator in my book is so advanced that it can translate even unknown alien languages immediately.
Dude.
The being told
'Cause it can pick up on
Filiberto of
patterns
the
in
superior
voice.
energy of the
Probably AI system.
I wouldn't have thought of that at the time, but yes. AI driven. Yep. Absolutely.
It makes sense it would be AI driven if it thinks that fast.
That's the bioscanners too in my book.
Yeah.
It's all AI driven, but I just didn't realize that's what it would have been. You know?
reproductive organs, which is a concept found in many religious, spiritual, and occult circles.
We have superior energy in our freaking reproductive organs. That's why they probe us, guys.
That's wild.
They find us special
Wow.
in our underlings.
circles.
Boy.
He also told Filiberto of the need for a new religion where man sees God inside himself.
Oh,
He told-
well, that's Jesus Christ. We already have that.
You have to know that God is inside you. His energy, His abundance, His love. Thank you, aliens. This must be the Ponte. They seem nicer.
Jesus Christ told us that already.
Right?
2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Filiberto
Maybe Jesus visited them and gave them that message. And
Sure.
they decided to follow after His ways compared to us, and we just didn't care.
That's right.
that his race was thousands of years more advanced than the human race. The leader appeared to use equipment on his chair to project moving images like holograms, which Filiberto compared to looking out a window. He showed Filiberto scenes of the past, present, and future. He was given several predictions during this time,
Wow.
which I'll discuss later.
Maybe they're time travelers.
I don't believe it's possible to travel in time. I believe that they could have machines.
You think AI could be advanced enough where it could predict the future?
Yes. Yes. Hyper intelligent AI, where it can literally see the future, not go to it. You cannot go to the past or future. It doesn't exist. You can't. We can observe in New York City that the Twin Towers are no longer there. But that's it.
That's true.
That's
Let's
what
see
I
what
think.
they say.
That's what I think.
Following
There's a
this,
face in that
Filiberto was taken to another chamber, and the beings placed him in a chair that suctioned him down and immobilized him. He soon realized that this room was a smaller craft that departed what he assumed to be a mothership. He could see outside of the craft through a porthole and watched as a beach came into view. The water was deep blue. The beach itself was narrow, and
What do you
reddish
call 'em,
purple
nipple
rocks
craft?
rose steeply from the sand. The craft hovered at the base of a high mountain. Filiberto could see numerous large rocks, vegetation, and what he called a small horse, which he later recognized as a
Awesome.
llama. One of the beings
llama.
got out of the craft and aimed a tool which Filiberto compared to a flashlight at a large rock, which parted to reveal an extremely large cavern devoid of water.
Huh.
That's interesting, actually.
That's really interesting.
Aha. It's coming. It's heading to us right now.
Ah, yes.
Pizza.
Filiberto found it strange that he could see no stalactites or stalagmites. He scanned the cavern and noticed 2 serpent symbols made of stone. In Filiberto's words,
Really?
one was as large as an electric light pole. The other symbol was similar, but smaller. The beings took Filiberto into the cavern and made him sit
Super
next to a
tall
rock
serpents.
before forcing him to drink a liquid that tasted like honey, telling him it was for his own nourishment. Shortly after drinking the liquid, Filiberto struggled to breathe and felt pressure on his chest. Filiberto then watched as the beings opened an enormous door and a group of people came out.
They did eat him.
He was feeling overwhelmed by strange sensations and odors when someone spoke to him, "Welcome." What appeared to be a fellow human spoke to Filiberto in Spanish. During hypnosis, Filiberto referred to him as the Chilean, although he did not.
Oh, that Chilean's been on the ship before, I guess, since he's like all cool. Like, welcome, dude.
Wow.
Welcome to the universe. We're not alone. Thought you should know.
It's really interesting. They gave him like a hallucinogenic,
I think so.
or like a Quaalude deal, but like he's starting to.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but I know what I'm thinking.
Lady Bracknell, he might have been roofied. You never know, man.
Not know this
What
for
it
sure.
sounds like.
He told Filiberto that he was from Earth
Roofie.
and had been for some time working with the entities. He said that Filiberto should be happy because he was going to receive some instructions from a human being like us. This human then projected images into Filiberto's mind, showing him all the ways he could frighten him. Soon, Filiberto was taken through another door and came out onto the street of what looked like an underground city. They crossed the
What?
street.
The aliens are underground, bro.
At subterranean aliens, absolutely.
They're actually from here, man.
Ultra terrestrials. That's what the term is for it. Ultra terrestrials. They've been here longer than us.
Yup.
You want to talk about native earthlings, yeah?
Yep.
And they're subterranean species.
There you go. Reptilians.
Street
Yeah.
and entered a small building where Filiberto was fully paralyzed and placed on a table. He saw his clothes floating against the wall and realized that he was naked. He was aware of entities moving around him, acting with purpose. The beings shined a light into his eyes and examined him with various instruments. They put an instrument into his ear. They later told him that they implanted a device which they could use to communicate with him in the future.
Ah, hell no. You do that without my permission, motherfucker. Get that shit out of my head or I'll kill myself. How about that? How about that? You can't communicate with me when I'm in the grave, motherfucker. How about that? I ain't working with you aliens. I don't know who you are. Putting things in my head. Without my permission and consent. Who are you? Who do you think you are? You're just an alien. You're no different than I. You just have better technologies.
Pa told me that the anal probe is from the devil, even if it felt good.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Speaking of white, today.
Mechanical arms fitted with strange instruments emerged from the walls, continuing to perform tests on him and extract biological samples. Once the examination was complete, Filiberto was able to move and got dressed. He was taken down a corridor
They didn't even put the clothes back on him. He had to get his own ass dressed.
It's just straight rape.
So you get me naked without my consent, do a medical exam on me without my consent, but yet I have to put my clothes on.
Ain't that wild?
Damn.
Wow.
into a room which was either the same or very similar to the control room of the mothership. He showed Filiberto a reflection in the floor of 3 triangles or pyramids united by a halo of fine light. He
3 pyramids united by a halo of fine light. Interesting. Okay.
Giza.
Go on.
3 pyramids.
Go on.
Giza.
The Triforce.
Oh, Jesus. The Triforce. We're dealing not with fiction here, honey. This is real shit.
Dude, it's obviously a Triforce.
The Triforce is a symbol of the Holy Trinity anyway, whatever.
Explained, those are the controls that we have here in the Earth. One in the Pacific Ocean, where we are now, another in the Atlantic Ocean, and the other deep in the Earth.
Oh my God, they
Antarctica.
fucking got it.
Antarctica.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
That's the portals in Enoch.
Dude,
That's it.
The Pacific Ocean
No.
Ocean one is underneath Australia.
They got it.
The Atlantic Ocean one is the Bermuda Triangle. And the deep in the earth is Antarctica. I got the spots, yo. I got it.
One of them is what I saw in my dream.
But the Ponte talked about that
With the hand
too.
thing.
The Pacific underneath Australia.
Yes.
Bruh.
And there are crystal pyramids. Crystal.
It's also a black pyramid in
Antarctica.
Antarctica. No, Alaska. Alaska has a black pyramid.
Alaska, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that.
Yep.
I thought it was Antarctica.
Filiberto was then taken to another room and put to sleep by the entity, placing its hand on his shoulder. After he was awakened, he was taken into yet another room where he was shown a book filled with photographs of different locations. Unfortunately, no details were given as to what the images were. The entity then forced Filiberto to swallow something like pills. Filiberto was made to believe that this experience lasted 18 months.
Morpheus.
He felt like he was losing
Blue
his
pill or red
mind.
pill.
Maybe it was 18 months to you.
Time dilation.
Exactly.
I fully believe that these beings, if they exist, have the ability to dilate time.
They could. They could.
They passed to another room where there were two individuals who looked like Earth people.
Okay.
Finally, he was taken into a large, open room with a huge craft in a vertical position like our big rockets. He was taken inside the craft, where he encountered 3 more entities that immobilized him and forced him to sit down.
This is incredible. Do you know how we're getting this testimony?
Huh.
Regression therapy. I
Yeah.
need to do it. I need regression therapy.
Oh man, the shit that's gonna come out of your mouth.
Yeah. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay?
I know, right?
Because I'm starting slowly to remember shit on my own.
Do aliens really give us alien pills? Well, why wouldn't they? We have people pills.
Morpheus in the Matrix. That's what this is. Really.
Yeah.
They're giving
Sabella
you...
says time moves differently in other realms. Could be it, girl.
If other realms exist.
Yeah.
Okay?
Huh.
We don't know that.
Hi, Wednesday.
What's up?
How you doing?
Sorry.
The craft
Hi.
departed, and soon Filiberto was let out of the object. The entities again forced his mouth open and made him drink something which made him feel ill. The UFO took off vertically and disappeared. Filiberto was disoriented and would soon find himself crawling along the highway. He was left with the
What?
feeling that something was implanted into his body, a device which would allow communication with the beings.
Oh my God, could you pause it 1 second?
That poor kid.
Facts.
What?
Okay, look.
Okay.
All right. I am good friends with a man by the name of L.A. Marzulli. Okay, I will put his name in the chat so you get the right spelling. Okay. I talked to this guy for hours and hours and hours privately. No show going on. Just being a brother in Christ with him. He believes that this alien shit is all demonic, and he's a lot smarter than me. I'm going to tell you that right now. There is proof that these fucking things have taken people off planet into a craft or wherever the fuck they're taking them and implanting shit into their body. Dr. Lear, okay?
Yes.
The work of Dr. Lear, and he was, but God bless his soul, he passed away.
We should do a doc on Dr. Lear.
If I could get permission from LA, I have him on my Skype. We'll play his shit for everybody.
Yeah, I bet you get permission from LA.
I think he'd come on our show.
We talked to L.A. Marzulli.
Directly on Skype.
Can we get a hold of Bill?
Schneblin? Now you're connected to him too.
Yeah.
With Mary. Mary.
That's true.
You know, Mary loves you.
I'd love to talk to him again.
Mary loves you because she knows that you're a real Christian, not a liar. You know?
Exactly. I'm real, yo.
You're fucking real. Okay? But I have to tell you guys, okay, I'm going to put the name in chat. Look up all of the shit that L.A. Marzulli has done, because I think he is from Christ, and he's telling you the truth about this shit. All right? Beings that are benevolent would not be forcibly putting objects in our body.
That's true.
Period. All right, you can go. Sorry.
Without anyone's consent?
You're getting close?
Yes.
I should be watching you.
It's not yet, though.
All right.
Following the hypnosis session, Dr. Sanchez, his wife, Maria Elena, and another investigator, Mario Rodriguez, were sitting in the living room of Filiberto's home when Maria and Mario suddenly covered their ears and screamed in pain. They were rocking back and forth, their heads nearly slamming into their knees. No one else knew what was afflicting the two of them. Maria and Mario both described hearing a whistling sound that caused intense pain in their ears. This reminded them that during the previous hypnosis session, Filiberto said that two people, a man and a woman, would soon receive proof of his experience.
Holy shit. And they got a download at the same time, dude. It's like the aliens know exactly what's happening to him because of the probe they put in him. And now that probe is like psychically downloaded into people near him. Crazy.
From that point on, Maria and Mario began experiencing psychic phenomena such as telepathy. This was especially evident in Maria, who would later state, "This is not only an experience of other people, because we have lived it for ourselves." The same night, as Dr. Sanchez and his wife were driving home, on a whim, Maria suggested that they visit the site of Filiberto's abduction. Dr. Sanchez thought this was strange, but agreed and drove to the abduction site. There they sat and watched the sky for nearly an hour before heading home. They were barely home for a few minutes when they received a call from Filiberto, asking them, "Where were you? What did you do in the place where they found me?"
Exactly, Momo. Let us bees. We're doing an alien bees. Let's bees.
This is not small shit.
There was no explanation as to how
This is not
Filiberto
just
could
fun
have
and
possibly
games.
known this. According to Dr. Sanchez, what he called a triangle of contact formed between Filiberto, Mario, and Maria as more of these telepathic experiences continued. Dr. Sanchez witnessed these experiences and stated that it was easy verification of these events in his eyes. On several occasions, Maria was allegedly given messages after hearing the same whistling sound. The messages would tell her to go to certain locations, and almost always they arrived to find that Filiberto was already there, waiting for them.
Whoa.
Another day, Mario and Filiberto called Dr. Sanchez.
How? Filiberto is like a really manipulative person, or this shit's real, man. I don't know which one, but it's fucking bizarre story. Yo, like holy crap.
This stuff is as real as you get.
What's the raining in the air thing?
Well, non-believers would say it's just tinnitus.
I do get rings in my ears sometimes out of the blue, and I'm like, where
You've
is?
been abducted.
Oh no.
So have I. I know it.
The wet footprints.
There's that, and when I got saved, I'm remembering things.
To report that they both heard the sound again at the same
They
time.
couldn't touch me though.
Though
'cause I was
Dr.
in
Sanchez
Christ.
considered the triangle of contact
They
to be
could not
easy
touch me.
verification of Filiberto's experience, he also stated, "Nothing in particular happened that would make one think that this was motivated by the extraterrestrial."
Yeah, that's what I would think too. Normally, in my skeptical mind. But how do you get a message saying, "I'm here," and then they go to that place and then he's there? Do you think you can outrun an alien, Miss Pickles?
find out.
Had Filiberto's experience unlocked some sort of telepathic capability? The strange happenings didn't end there. On February 19th, Maria found a missed call from Filiberto. Dr. Sanchez wasn't home, so Maria called him back, and Filiberto told her that they gave him permission to bring Maria and the others to the abduction site. He also conveyed another message from the beings, that Maria was selected for something, and that
Oh no, she's selected to get probed too.
Maria?
Yeah.
one of her daughters would also be selected. Generational.
Yeah, I said I trolled Nader a couple years ago. So what?
You did.
Get over it. It's not a big deal.
I wouldn't even call it trolling. You were just having fun.
Yeah, I was just being a dumbass.
You were having fun.
Exactly. Get over it.
Contact is well known among abduction researchers. Filiberto told her that she should meet the extraterrestrials. As soon as the conversation ended, Maria's phone rang again. This time it was Mario. Maria told him about the conversation she just had with Filiberto, and they decided to meet and discuss everything. Mario, Dr. Sanchez, and Maria sat discussing the events of the abduction and what Filiberto told Maria when the phone rang yet again. It was Filiberto, and he told them it was time to go to the abduction site. Maria became nervous, frightened by the possibility of making contact with these
That's beautiful. That candle in the moon. Oh, that's so pretty.
Cool.
I look hot though? Yeah, I know I looked hot in that. It's fine.
You're always hot. What the fuck?
Did you probe Nader?
Oh! What?
You shouldn't be asking me that.
Probe me? I'm a man. Okay? Probe what?
non-human beings. Quote, Mario and Virgilio began to give me instructions about what could happen or could not happen in case there was a contact and they took me. They didn't want to frighten me and tried to analyze everything from a logical point of view, though none of us allowed any assurance of contact. They met at Filiberto's house and were joined by parapsychologist Patricia Haynes. Together, they piled in Filiberto's car and drove to the abduction site. At one point, Filiberto pointed out a cross painted on the ground by surveyors tracing a curve at the end of the road. Maria stood on that spot and closed her eyes. She focused on asking the beings to make their presence known.
Yeah,
The
they're almost
witnesses
here.
felt
They're
the
on
wind
the main.
pick up drastically, and Filiberto saw Maria levitate 10 inches off the ground. Patricia was frightened by this and jumped away from Maria. Soon, Maria's feet returned to
Holy shit, it was happening again. They got levitated. Aliens, Miss Liss. Aliens.
the ground, and she began to feel nauseous. Filiberto decided they should leave, as it seemed that the beings were not going to appear. Maria protested this, saying that they should wait, that now is when the beings may show themselves, but Filiberto insisted. Maria had a strong sense that something was about to happen as they got back into...
Please, Filiberto, please do not do this to me. Please do not do this to me, Filiberto. I don't want the aliens to come near me, please. I don't want it. And he's like, but it will happen. They're telling me.
Filiberto's car. As they began driving away, Maria saw 8 pairs of glowing eyes looking back at her from the brush.
Ah, hell no. Run, girl, run. Maria, run for your life. They want to probe you. You've been chosen to breed for them.
She was too frightened to say anything to the others at the time. However, shortly after they returned to Filiberto's house, he pulled Maria aside and asked her if she saw anything. She was still frightened and denied it at first.
That's a large, holy shit, it's huge. What's the party size?
Right, dude.
Look how big this fricker is.
We gotta put the good light on.
Yeah, we gotta put the good light on. We gotta also
Yes.
put it on just cam.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, that's it. See?
See, we got to do the big pizza reveal.
Mhm.
Are you ready?
That's it. Oh. Wow. Now I have to ask Hussy, okay? Is this a disaster or is this a good New York pizza? That's what I'm asking Hussy.
Would you eat this, Miss Hussy?
Oh my.
Would you get all fat for us, Miss Hussy, for this?
Oh my stars.
Oh, my star.
Oh my stars. That's some good shit. And when I do that, he goes, shut it.
Shut it.
Shut it, that's mine.
Shut it, Rev.
I'm just, do you know that impersonating you is flattery, Hussy? 'Cause
Yeah, like if you interviewed me and asked the questions that the stupid idiots asked
would've
me a
been
billion
fine.
times today, I would have stayed.
You would have stayed, because you're nice. Hussy's nice.
Yeah.
Hussy's nice.
But stupid questions, I hate it. It's a pet peeve, man.
Incessant, same thing.
It's all the same thing over and over. And then I was seeing, like, Pete's had the same problem as me. He's like, it's not a problem that people are asking me questions. It's the repetitiveness of it.
It'll break your brain. Do you,
It would.
I get you a plate.
Yes. Do you want some?
No.
God darn it.
I'll vomit.
Fine.
I will vomit, dude. I'm thriving on 0 calorie. Thriving.
Okay.
Because my body has had plenty of shit. It has.
In my body,
It's needing shit.
it's needing shit.
Exactly. That's cool.
Oh my god. Oh my stars.
That's
Oh my
right.
stars.
That's good pizza.
Oh, this looks so beautiful.
That's the
Look
deal.
at that slice. Look at that.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Do you want seasoning?
No.
You're good.
Yes.
All right. I got your soda. I'm just making sure you're all the queen set.
Yes.
And you have Yoshi peering behind, watching.
I do.
I love it.
Hi Warborg. Thank you for the $2 super chat.
What's the deal?
He said Rev should do body cam videos.
Body cam? Oh, that's a good idea. That's actually a great. Oh, is it good?
You want a bite?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Okay, give me time. All right.
Oh.
Look, by the time we're off tonight, I'll probably have a piece. So, you know. But my stomach needs to decompress from garbage.
Well, I can say this isn't garbage. This is lovely.
Awesome.
All right, love. Let's get back to
I'm
Filiberto.
really manic. So, okay, I'm sorry.
We don't have much longer for this video to be done.
No, we're not getting off. I'm not.
All right.
No way. I'm not going.
There we
anywhere.
go.
I'll play games all night.
Back to Filiberto.
Filiberto asked if she was telling the truth because he too saw the eyes.
At the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's,
No one
this
knows
is
what
why
it's
we walk.
like to be the sad man.
Of Maria's experiences, Dr. Sanchez would state, "Since she is my wife, these experiences put me in a delicate position. I don't want any of the investigation group to think that I am involved in a farce and that my wife is also involved. For my part, I cannot think that my wife would
fine.
fool me, and the same for Mario Rodriguez, who for many years has investigated the UFO
wanna
phenomenon
join MUFON.
as Uruguayan representative for MUFON, an important and serious organization here in the United States. The only one who could have prepared a farce was Filiberto, whom we have known only for a few days, but it all seems to indicate, with witnesses, doctor statements, and police reports, that he has in truth suffered an experience. I lived those moments at a
Well, obviously everyone's saying that it happened.
In order to say none of this is real, you have to invalidate every single experiencer. And that's why J. Allen Hynek and also, what's his name? Dr. Lear?
Yeah.
No, God.
No, there-
John Mack.
Yeah.
John Mack. Okay, one of the most respected men in psychology ever, Dr. John Mack, said there's no way this isn't real. Something is happening to these people, period.
Yeah, exactly.
It's proven. Okay? Now, what it is, that's up for debate. Completely. L.A. Marzulli believes it's demonic, and I'm with him. That's it. Yoshi, do you agree? Bloop, bloop. He's going to try and eat your pizza, you know? Bloop, bloop, and create an egg. That's it.
Well, I think the amount of people who witnessed this says something.
At a time when I was pressured
They're
by
not seeing
friends
the video
who insisted that I should not
No,
follow
yeah.
this
You
want the
case
full cam?
with the objective of assuring myself that it was all a lie, that it could not be true. They obliged me continually to proceed seeking the help of international research groups to work together with us in examining the accounts. If the circumstances began to involve me also, as I hoped, there would still be other investigators to take over the investigation immediately, and I would pass over to be a new witness in this case. I always felt that the investigator should not in any way become involved in the circumstances of the case. He should remain outside the case in order to be able to make rational deductions based on the evidence without being unduly influenced. The fact that my wife, Maria Elena, was now involved in this case could endanger my position as an impartial investigator. But at the same time, I felt that her inclusion would give me an opportunity to live, together with her, the experience itself, taking the investigation to a level of understanding that justified our inquiry on this basis. 50 days after Filiberto's abduction, he and his wife Iris were up all night and into the morning, unable to sleep. They chose to go for a drive around 3 a.m. Filiberto felt
Sounds
compelled
like us
to drive back
up
to the
late
site
at
of his
night, not being
abduction.
able to sleep, being like, what do? We need to do something. Yep. Our sleep cycle's totally messed up.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get it fixed.
When they realized that they weren't alone, Iris was the first to notice that a top-shaped UAP appeared in the sky behind them. Iris stated, "The UFO appeared from behind us as we stood there. It made a turn at about 60 to 80 feet altitude above our heads, descended, and hovered about a foot above the ground. We could hear a sound that didn't seem like it should be coming from a ship this large. We could see that the ship had 2 levels or stories, the smaller level under the larger one." Filiberto stated, "Iris saw the ship arrive. She took out a cigarette and lit it very naturally. I told her I didn't think she should do that because they might not like it. Then she did not know what to do with the cigarette. In comparison, I would say that the ship..."
Wait a minute, they smell like fucking egg farts and they're complaining about the smell of cigarettes?
Yeah, that's pretty weird. What's your deal?
You guys smell like egg farts. What's wrong with cigarette smell then? Like, what the fuck?
It was a little larger than a truck. Filiberto and Iris, transfixed by the object, watched it land. A hatch opened on the craft, and a ramp made contact with the ground. Iris and Filiberto walked up the ramp and passed directly through a transparent material like glass. Iris stated, "It was like a window of crystal, which upon passing through, we felt a distinct atmosphere, almost like we were out of this world. I felt myself floating.
Great video
I felt
game.
like my body was weightless. My thoughts and ideas were of great intensity."
Whoa. That's weird. What do you think that is?
I don't know, man. Shout out to Out of This World on SNES.
As they entered the craft, Iris noticed a strange sound that she compared to parrots, a great number of parrots. I could hear them perfectly, but I could not see them. They must have had several cages for them in this ship. The couple then saw the same beings that abducted Filiberto the first time. They were dressed in a suit of very special brilliance. It was the color of silver and reflected the lights around them. They were not very tall. They were shorter than Filiberto and were lightweight. I saw 4 of them. One was a woman.
There are 4 lights!
I was aware of this because of the form of her tightly fitted suit. The suit covered her whole body, hands and feet, leaving only an aperture for the face. It came down and covered half of the forehead.
Time to help people customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Go down that pole, dude.
Emu.
Forgot my wallet.
All right.
Emu.
You work hard on your marketing, but
Sounds
does it
like a
actually
Monday.
work?
Absolutely.
With Monday.
But
They got a snake on their up. Oh,
they do. It's an X with a snake on top of it.
oh my god. I seen that.
They're reptilians, man.
I have seen that logo.
They're the people of the snake. Mexico.
No, what?
The pyramid of the snake in Mexico.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand what you're saying.
Machu
but
Picchu.
No. I have seen that. Wow, that triggered a memory. That triggered a memory. Oh boy. Okay.
Right?
Oh wow.
The face was normal, much like ours, but the eyes were elongated and had eyelashes like ours. I could not see the eyebrows. Either they were covered by the suit, or they did not have any. The nose...
No eyebrows, folks.
No brows.
No hair on them motherfuckers at all.
was smaller and a little flattened. The mouth was larger and long without having much lip, or rather the lip was quite fine. On the suit, on the right breast, they had an emblem made up of a serpent in the form of an S, or maybe more like a Z with rounded corners, with a wide X-shaped cross lying down underneath. I could not see their hands because they were covered by the suit, extending over the fingers like a glove. Shortly after entering, Filiberto was separated from Iris and taken into an upper level of the ship. Iris was kept on the lower level and conversed with one of the beings for the duration of the couple's shared experience, roughly 20 minutes. Iris described how the beings seemed to pay a great deal of attention to her painted nails. They sneezed constantly, which they later explained was caused by the presence of human beings. So I guess
They're allergic to us. Ugh. You guys, you just smell like pepper to us, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to sneeze. It's just you smell too much.
Wow.
they were allergic. Quote, "There was only one that spoke to me. He communicated mentally because I could not hear his voice. He spoke very delicately to me. I felt good with them. They did not frighten me. It seemed like I was floating and I felt very tranquil. Instead of feeling afraid and wanting to run, I, on the contrary, felt peace and tranquility."
Probably because they drugged your ass, man. I felt peace and relaxed, man. It was all good, man. They had excellent shit, whatever it was. I don't know what it was, but it was shit.
The being spoke into Iris's mind. "Be calm. Nothing is going to happen to you." At one point, Iris asked the beings if they were the ones who abducted the 2 little girls from Puerto Rico, the abduction she heard about from the nurse. The beings denied this, which put any remaining apprehension at ease.
They denied it. Nah, we didn't get the little girls. That was the other aliens that we have to deal with, guys. That's the other people.
Quote, "At one point, I asked the one who talked to me if he would let me touch him. I was like St. Thomas, wanting to see for myself before believing, and I wanted to touch him. He said to me yes, that I could. He raised his right arm, and I could see that he had a body under the suit. The suit material seemed to have a soft, scaly texture.
Soft, scaly reptilians.
Seduced Eve.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Seduced Eve.
In the lower level of the ship, where I stayed the whole time, there was a small cabin full of televisions in rows. Note that Iris would later describe these televisions as being more three-dimensional than a normal television. One alongside another, many in double banks. There was a narrow seat with a high back, as if it were for the captain of the ship. It was very prominently placed. This seat rotated. There was another seat in which nobody was sitting, and they seated me there. On that floor around me were small lights. When I sat down, I observed the lights around my seat, which began to brighten in different colors. The white light, to which we had become accustomed, went out, and I couldn't see it anymore. The lights were clear and brightly transparent, such as nothing that we have here. The floor was made of a very strange material. It was not plastic, but was a smooth, flat material, completely unknown to us.
Huh. What do you think they use in plastic and instead of plastic in alien worlds?
I would assume they're way more intelligent than us, right?
Yeah.
They probably have a biological material that's even better than plastic. Way better.
Yeah, I guess so.
And wouldn't pollute shit, you know?
The walls were completely covered with machines and television pictures like windows. The entities walked very rapidly there inside the ship.
Okay.
You would see them here, and then almost immediately they would go over there. In the conversation that I carried on, he talked of love, universal love. He told me much about universal love. He said that they came on a mission to Earth and that they selected people for contact at random. This person was subjected to a series of tests. If that person felt love toward them, then they often continued the contact. But
So you have to love them for them to continue to contact you. If you're frightened by them, they won't continue to contact you. You gotta be their friends.
Oh.
You have to you have to just be like,
say yes for the vampire to come in?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
I see.
if on the contrary, they did not feel any love, they did not contact them again. The beings stressed to Iris the importance of the power of the mind, which has largely gone uncultivated on Earth. As I said, Filiberto was...
The power of our mind has been largely uncultivated, probably because some people are stuck on this loop where they're watching the same drama shit over and over and over and over and over and over again.
That's part of it.
And they don't look at anything new to learn about. So yeah, I can see that on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a sad state to be. For me, I would just accept the situation compared to trying to understand it.
Was separated from his wife and taken to the upper level of the ship, where he conversed with other beings. Quote, I cannot repeat all that they told me aboard the ship, but they reaffirmed that they came to planet Earth to aid us in all they could, and very especially in all that related to health. They ratified their universal love concept.
I like the love concept. That's a good teaching.
They do not come to endanger nor conquer us, nor do they want to be recognized as saints or saviors. This has happened before. They say that they are beings of other dimensions, of other worlds, but that they are not gods, and that they do not want to be considered such.
That shows a little bit of benevolence, saying they're not gods and they don't want to be considered gods.
Lucifer can come as a being of light.
I know.
Period.
I know.
They do not want to be attacked. Filiberto was told that there exist other planets much more advanced than the Earth, and that in 1993 the Earth will make contact with other planets. Eventually, Iris and Filiberto were let out of the object. Once they made it back home, they were completely exhausted. Filiberto called Dr. Sanchez and briefly explained what happened and said he would call back at 10 a.m. Allegedly, the beings told him not to fully divulge his experience until then. A few hours later, Dr. Sanchez was contacted by Manuel Rodriguez, an investigator for the Miami UFO Center, who said he was receiving calls from witnesses to a UFO at the Miami International Airport the same...
And then you have that thing that happened in the Miami Mall with the portal opening up. There's some shit going on in Miami. It's one of those places. It's one of those places, man.
All that shit seems real fake to me. The Miami shit.
Alright.
Very
morning. The witnesses claimed to observe a mothership and multiple smaller objects, all of which were disc-shaped. According to Wendell Stevens, the witnesses said that multiple passengers boarding flights witnessed the objects, as did other airport employees. Dr. Sanchez got into contact with multiple airport employees who claimed to have witnessed the object. One of the witnesses, Julie Rodriguez, described the object as a large round thing like a plate, very well illuminated. Ricardo Sanchez described the disc as round and had like 3 lights, one very white, one yellow, and the other one also white but more opaque than the first one. Or you could say that it had one white light that shone brighter than the other and also a yellow one. At the sides of the ship, one could see the other 2 ships, a bit smaller.
Momo asked a good question. Do you believe in Bigfoot being in cahoots with the aliens? I think it's totally plausible that they probably are aliens.
I have no evidence that Bigfoot exists anymore. 0 evidence.
You atheist.
There's no evidence. None.
No, I have absolutely no shame.
They had only 1 light each. It looked like one object with 2 more alongside it. The bright white light in the center was fixed, but the yellow and the more opaque one pulsated. Our supervisor, Harold, was also with us, and he too was there looking.
Red, green, Harold.
There were 5 or 6 of us there. Based on the witness testimony, the researchers realized that the airport witnesses saw UFOs in the same place where Iris and Filiberto's abduction took place only hours earlier. The researchers felt that these 2 sightings by independent parties verified one another, at least to an extent. Though I will say, in my own efforts, I've been unable to find any outside sources discussing this mass sighting at the Miami airport. On December 6, 1985, Filiberto claimed that he was abducted for the 3rd time and carried to the same base under the ocean, though unfortunately, very few details were given this time. On March 30th, 1986, he underwent hypnotic regression once again, this time with a different team. Dr. Sanchez stated, "It was like renting the same video movie 6 years later and playing it back and forward, trying to find a gap."
That sounds like a horrible frickin' place to be in. It's like the movie Memento.
Oh my god. That's
Anyone ever watched the movie Memento? Have you figured it out yet? Because I haven't.
it's a torture movie.
How many times have you watched that trying to figure it out and you're like,
Ah,
I don't fucking know.
I believe it's just a art piece on mental illness.
It has to be,
That's
because
what
it
it
makes
is.
no fucking sense.
Yeah. For a person that has very erratic behavior and they forget what they do.
I guess so.
That's what I think it's about, really.
At one point during this session, they had Filiberto relive the moment in which the entities put the helmet full of needles on him. At that moment, Filiberto opened his eyes and began screaming. He jumped up and knocked the hypnotist off her seat. Dr. Sanchez grabbed Filiberto and asked him to calm down and to wake up.
He had a horrifying experience and they're saying, we're all love.
No.
Don't worry about us. We're the good guys.
Nope. Nope. If these
Experiencers
fucking
of
things
close
don't come in
encounters
name
of the
Jesus,
3rd and
they're
4th
fucking
kind
evil.
are sometimes known to be given
Period.
predictions, or that they are shown visions of future events. Sometimes these predictions fall flat, such as the assertion that the Earth would make open contact with other planets in 1993, and that the major population centers of California would collapse into the ocean.
Bill Clinton was
However,
president
some
when-
of the other predictions seem to have been very accurate. Filiberto was shown a city that he thought was going to be destroyed. The
Been there, done that. Sorry. I have a mystic aura. Thank you, Milky. Thank you.
capital of Mexico, and although the city was not destroyed, around the end of 1985, there was a disastrous earthquake that destroyed part of Mexico City. The event caused the deaths of at least 5,000 people and between 3 and 5 billion US dollars in damage. The city suffered major damage.
$5 billion in damage. No. We shouldn't have to pay for that. We didn't do it.
That's right.
And so did the greater Mexico City area, due to the large magnitude of the earthquake and the ancient lake bed below the city. Filiberto predicted that the husband of an actress could become president of the United States. Again, this is before Ronald Reagan's presidency. Both Ronald and Nancy Reagan were former film stars. In another prediction, Filiberto stated, "The government of Egypt in a short time will lose its leader."
Yeah,
It will
Nancy was an actress with Ronnie.
I didn't know that at all. Okay. Government of Egypt will lose its leader.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's why they gave him Alzheimer's.
That sounds correct.
Mm-hmm. He knew too much.
Yeah.
Lose its government, and there will be great disaster.
Because that one State of the Union, he talked about UFOs.
Yeah, he did. No, well, it was before the UN.
It was a UN.
UN speech, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Disasters throughout its territories. It could put this whole planet in peril of being disintegrated by a war of great consequences. This could occur before
Well, actually, it's now that war that you're talking about, but hey, that's only a few years.
the end of 1981. On October 6th, 1981, the president of Egypt was assassinated during a military parade. Quote, "They want to avoid all this, and this year there is a great conspiracy against the government of Israel. At the same time, there is a great conspiracy between the people that control energy in Kuwait and also in Arabia, where they have petroleum energy. All those governments will disappear."
Hey!
Whoa.
I'm pro government disappearance and letting people live again.
Johnny Silverhand way of life.
I bet Bibi Netanyahu's an alien, man. That was a conspiracy. Because that's when he started fucking talking.
90 or 83?
Yeah, around 83 he started talking. He wasn't running Israel.
No.
That was Ariel Sharon, I think, at the time.
Ehud Olmert, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Ehud Olmert.
Interesting.
Close enough, though.
Interesting.
Close enough.
Why you always gotta be all in the middle of it, Israel?
They're snakes, man. They got, I'm telling you, the priesthood. The snake priesthood, the Saturnalian cult, Sabbatean Satanism, which is Khazarianism. Khazars.
And look what happened in Kuwait right after that. The Kuwaiti War.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Iraq.
And Arabia is now like, oh, we love America. We don't say anything bad about that.
Israel,
No.
we support Israel.
Yeah, no, we say nothing.
Nothing. That's correct. The crown.
They're aliens.
The kingdom of Saud.
They're aliens, man.
Yeah, I mean...
Kuwait
At
was
least they have a treaty
lost
with them.
during a military struggle to Iraq in August of 1990. Really, it's up to you whether or not you believe that Filiberto's predictions came true.
They did.
And we will be successful. And George Bush with his little freaking snake eyes.
They the split pupils.
Yup.
Up and down.
His eyes were snaky as shit. Our government's got taken over by aliens, I think.
Yeah.
That's why they look like they have, like, masks now.
Everybody makes fun of David Icke because he exposes the fact that there are shape-shifting reptilian humanoid beings that are in government. It exists. It just does. Okay? If you want to believe it or not, that's up to you. But there's enough witnesses to this shit that it's real.
Crazy.
Period.
Or was he just lucky? There are many elements of these reports, as bizarre as they are, that show up in many other reports. The behavior of the UAP during the first abduction, the electromagnetic effect on the witnesses' vehicles, the temporary paralysis, and the intense heat reported by the witnesses echoes many other reports, some famous cases such as the Cash Landrum incident. The U.S.
You know, that would make sense if they are reptilian, why they keep their ships so hot. Because reptiles are cold-blooded and they move faster when it's hot.
Right. Definite.
Yep.
When I got saved, that place in the hospital, they had the temperature up to like 80 in that fucking ward.
Fuck that
Dude,
shit.
I'm telling you, I'm remembering shit. This video actually triggered memories.
I'm sorry.
Government's
No.
research
This
into
is
UAP, as well as Dr. Gary
very
Nolan
good
and
for me.
CIA Dr. Kit Green, have cataloged many anomalous health incidents wherein it appears that individuals have suffered radiation burns from close proximity to UAP. The buzzing noise reported by Shermer and Filiberto is also commonly reported during UFO and psychic phenomena, such as the awakening of the Kundalini and religious visitations such as the miracle of Fatima. Exactly what sort of relationship exists between these sorts of events remains unclear.
Huh.
They're hitting some very interesting shit.
They are. This Emperor Zeke.
God, he's got, I mean...
He's only got 6,000 subscribers. Make him bigger, man.
Yeah.
Make him bigger.
This is very good shit.
Yeah, he's good.
These are testimonies.
They are.
For people that have gone through regression therapy.
Exactly.
Hypnosis.
Exactly.
I fucking need this. I need to do this.
The small beings, often described as childlike, which answer to a taller authority figure, is also common, and so is the telepathic contact with the entities. We also know that UAP are known to have a connection with water. One of the ATIP program's 6 observables of true anomalous UFOs is transmedium movement, meaning that the craft is able to operate seamlessly in air, water, and space. Filiberto described witnessing the objects.
It has to be electromagnetic to be able to do that.
That's correct. There's no other force that could do that.
Yeah. I'm sure, like the middle that spins. That's what
I
causes
thought it.
gravity
And you're saying it.
and the electromagnetism.
Yes. Yes.
Because that's how that one guy who made that that one portal device that we listened to on Art Bell,
Yeah, the
it
mic
was
guy,
a
yeah.
spinning device that caused the electromagnetism.
Yeah, you have it going one way, and then the other on the bottom.
Like a
going
gyro.
up. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it just can move like this shit.
Yep.
And that's what I saw at my own testimony of these, whatever the fuck it was. It made no noise and it moved perfectly like this.
Make sure to report poll for sexual content.
Okay.
We're talking about aliens. It's called a joke.
This is labeled.
You kill humor people like you Karens.
Seamlessly operating in the sky before traveling underwater. Filiberto even seems to describe a sort of bubble around the object, which prevented the craft from directly interacting with the water. It's largely speculated that many UAP operate using a sort of anti-gravity bubble around the object. As for Filiberto's claims of an underwater, non-human base of operations, this is also claimed by other experiencers.
It's claimed by a lot of people, this underwater base they have.
I have to pee again.
Nah, but you should look into the technologies the government has been keeping from us. It's a very interesting topic, actually, Sarah.
Such as Betty Andresen, whose experience was not published at the time Filiberto came forward. According to Jacques Vallée, even the Brazilian Air Force and Navy intelligence at one time believed that actual underwater UFO bases might exist between the mouth of the Amazon and the São Luís area. It's also a pattern among these types of close encounters for the entities to force the witness to eat or drink something. This element is found in many modern encounters with...
Why do they force you to eat and drink something? What's up with that? Are you drugging me, motherfucker? Like, listen, alien, I'm a woman. I don't take drinks and food from strangers like that. Ugh, that's horrifying.
with strange beings, aliens, and men in black, as well as medieval fairy lore. There's an entire
Medieval fairy lore. Well, it's not fairy lore if there's a grain of truth to it. Now is it?
book covering this phenomena called A Trojan Feast, The Food and Drink Offerings of Aliens, Fairies, and Sasquatch by Joshua Cutchin.
A Trojan Feast. Like the Trojan horse. Instead of a bunch of people hiding in a wooden horse, it's a bunch of aliens hiding in their technology.
Yeah.
What if the AI is an actual AI but aliens, and they're just using our technology to manipulate us?
Could it be possible that these beings, whatever they were, drugged Filiberto, induced...
I think so. If they making you eat or drink something, yeah, they're drugging your ass.
These beings are
They're diddified. These beings are fucking diddy.
I'm telling you, these beings are a test from the creator of your discernment.
That's what Didi does. That's what fucking Diddy does. Is he drugs people to control them.
Sure.
That's malevolent. That's some evil shit. It's drugging people, man.
No, these things are not benevolent. They're not.
Nah, I don't think so.
But it's also a test. It's a test from God.
an altered state of consciousness?
Ever wanted to be a ninja with a gun? An arcane track star?
A ninja with
or
a
become
gun?
naked?
Okay, first of all, who the hell wants to be a ninja with a gun? You want to be a ninja with the frickin' stars and do the cool frickin' star shit.
Good deal.
Oh, don't show that on camera.
Oh, wow.
I know. They'll flag you.
Another one of ATIP's observables, biological effects caused by the encounter, which were experienced by...
Deadified, exactly, deadhead.
Hilarious.
Yeah, well, they're not us.
That's funny.
Deadified aliens. There we go.
Filiberto, and documented by medical staff, are also very common in the close encounter literature. The declassified Defense Intelligence Agency document, Anomalous Acute and Subacute Field Effects on Human Biological Tissue, goes into gruesome details of some of these injuries caused by advanced aerospace vehicles. Many of the injuries caused by UAP described in this document reflect what Filiberto suffered. The erythema caused by exposure to radiation, as well as the burns and extreme sensitivity to the eyes, is also discussed. The DIA document theorizes that many of these injuries suffered by close encounter witnesses are
loss of taste, loss of hearing. Huh. Gynecological problems, urination problems.
caused by exposure to ionizing and non-ionizing radiation from exposure caused by contact with the exotic fields used by these advanced aerospace systems or flying saucers. Civilian researchers have long chronicled these types of injuries. The photophobia or extreme sensitivity of the eyes has been well recorded in many close encounters. It has been written about by many authors and researchers, perhaps most notably John Keel.
I have photosensitivity.
My mom had it. A lot of people have been abducted, man.
I think so.
A lot.
They all testing our DNA and shit, man. Seeing if we're compatible with them, I figure.
Yeah.
Who experienced these burns to the eyes himself after witnessing the landing of a saucer during his investigations into the Point Pleasant UFO wave of 1966 and 67. It always greatly strengthens abduction and contact reports when there are multiple witnesses. 3 others witnessed the UAP that first abducted Filiberto, and his wife was also later abducted with him. As I said, this is one of, if not the only case, wherein an abductee brings a new witness, his own wife, into a subsequent abduction experience. The beings described by Shermer, Filiberto, and Iris are not the typical gray alien, mantis, or Nordic being, but there is some precedent for similar humanoids. During a sudden power outage in Marianaland, Sweden, on September 29, 1959, Gideon Johansson and his son were outside when they noticed a bright...
See, I take these older accounts a little bit more noticeable because they didn't have the movies like we did, or like we do now. They didn't have the technology like we do now. How would they know this stuff?
Yeah.
In a time where that stuff wasn't around.
True.
bright white light descending towards them. As it got closer, they realized it was a domed, oval-shaped object, which broke through the top of a maple tree during its descent and stopped only 10 feet from Gideon and his son. They could see a window on the front of the object, surrounded by rivets. Inside, they could see two small, seated humanoids, much like the captors of Shanny.
Yeah, Annabelle, to answer your question, I went to college for rambling communication, and I went to the school of I don't give a fuck. Have a nice day.
Cool.
And Filiberto.
Don't ask questions.
They had
like
large
that.
eyes,
It's none of your
pointed
business.
chins, and each one had an earphone in one ear. After 2 minutes, the object took
I don't
off in a
give a shit,
flash with a gust
university.
of air.
Exactly.
Gideon suffered effects to his health similar to what Filiberto experienced. The maple tree which the object made contact with soon after died, and a strange glassy deposit was reportedly found in the area. On February 3rd, 1994, in Ancona, Italy, at 9 a.m., a Mr. Giolo and 5 other witnesses saw a strange humanoid walking along a rocky shore. It appeared to be just under 5 feet tall and wore a tight-fitting black suit which covered its entire body, including its unusually long feet. The face was described as elongated with 2 huge round eyes that had round black pupils.
Ooh.
The being appeared to be wearing earphones and a helmet with an antenna protruding from one side.
Okay,
They
so he
watched
has
as the being
earphones and
staggered
another
across the
antenna.
shore for 10 minutes before it slowly rose up and levitated into the air before vanishing. In my opinion, the abduction phenomena is fascinating, no matter what the root cause actually is, or whether the events described happened as the witness remembers. The winged serpent symbol, present in both of these cases, is very intriguing to me.
Especially since they didn't hear each other's cases like that. We didn't have the internet back in that time, so it's not
Right.
like they could communicate. You couldn't communicate from someone from Ecuador unless you wrote to them.
Yeah. This is not coordinated. No way.
No.
The beings wore this symbol on their uniforms, and Filiberto described similar symbols inside the underwater base.
This month, get the 2025
Come
Kia
get your
Seltos
Kia
S
here
all-wheel
at
drive for only $334 per month for 36 months. Or
At MIT's June 1992 Abduction Study Conference, one woman, going by the pseudonym Amy, described 2 strange, oddly realistic, and
Amy
tangible
Gorilla.
dreams,
No.
which she later connected to her UFO abduction experiences. On the morning of August 23, 1988, she dreamed that she was abducted and taken aboard a UFO. Through a porthole on the object, she could see that the object was navigating to a small, otherworldly island with a ruddy orange-brown forest. She witnessed a creature so bizarre I can't describe it. It looked like a mammal, but it also seemed to have wings. The being actually appeared to be benevolent and communicated with the witness telepathically. The witness and the creature went to a clearing where she saw...
Could have been an angel. It had wings.
Man.
They do say do not fear.
Yeah, a demon could say that.
Yeah, but an angel says it too.
That's the thing.
That's why you just don't communicate with any of them. You're just like, hey, Jesus, can you come here?
Well,
I'm having a problem, Lord.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I don't know what this thing is, Lord, but I know you can take care of him.
I am going to be doing a testimony video about when I got saved because I have new stuff.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
3 other beings. One was a hideous, bovine, reptilian-seeming mix-up, and 2 very large snakes.
It's the reptilians.
Snakes, man.
It's the reptilians.
Snakes. Why does it always
Have to be snakes.
Yeah, that's right, Indy. Indy's telling you that shit's demonic.
She then saw what appeared to be another human being, a man who appeared to be in an altered state of consciousness, as if he were hypnotized or dazed.
Or drugged.
Mm-hmm.
He got diddified.
His kundalini was activated.
He got diddified. That's what happened.
The caduceus.
The winged
Snakes
telepathic
on your
mammal
spine.
led the two humans
What?
back to the UFO, which took off into the sky. Soon after, Amy remembered being returned to her bed. She doubted that this bizarre experience was a dream because nothing present turned into anything else, and the storyline didn't shift when things got boring. I didn't wake up when I was most frightened. The other
There you
dream took place in another unearthly landscape, but this time there were no bizarre entities. Instead, there were other humans. Shockingly, Amy claimed that she later met the same people from this dream in her waking life, and they too recalled this bizarre
Whoa,
experience.
I have that too.
You've had other people say that?
No. I'm going to tell you that when I got saved, that same time, there was an abduction too.
Okay. Interesting.
I got new shit.
Amy stated that her dreams, linearity of motion, their physical integrity, and independent confirmation by people I never knew were attributes that compelled me to give them a level of reality ranking over dreams. The winged serpent is not an alien symbol, but actually
That good old fallen angel winged serpent dude, man.
That's correct.
Hello, Lucy.
You said it, see?
How are you, Lucy baby?
Look, if anybody wants to come against this woman and say she's not of Christ, I'm going to tell you right now that the things that come out of her mouth you really better listen to, okay? She is
actually
straight
very
from the Creator.
recognizable, an ancient symbol found across the earth. In the old world, it was
Ugly
known to the Greeks
motherfucker.
and the Hindus,
That old
and in the
serpent.
New World, it was known by the Aztecs and other cultures.
The Naga.
This symbol, too, has shown up rarely in other encounters. According to Albert Rosales' humanoid journals, one night in 1965, near Provo, Utah, a 19-year-old alleged that he was taken from his home into a clear, glassy sphere with a large black object on the inside.
Absolutely. What did I tell
Inside.
you guys I saw in the sky?
A cube.
A clear glass-looking fucking round thing with a black cube in the center of it.
Kaaba.
Oh.
Or the Jews that have the freaking
That
cube on their
too.
head.
Well, that's representative of the Old Testament, or the Ten Commandments, but...
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got
okay.
something else there, too.
Uh-huh.
You do.
Okay. Symbology speaks, people.
Saturn. The worship
He met a
of
being
Saturn,
which appeared to
black
be the
cube.
leader, a 6'7" man, as well as a copper-skinned girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. They
Oh,
both
that's pretty.
Aryan.
That's pretty. Copper skin and blonde hair and blue eyes.
Both
That's
wore
pretty.
black uniforms with serpent motifs on their pockets. According to Timothy Good's book,
Next
Unearthly
with the
Disclosure,
serpent on it.
one
Yep.
witness, Enrique Castillo Rincon, was a telecommunications systems engineer who worked for companies in Costa Rica, Colombia, Brazil, and Venezuela. In 1969, he claimed he was taken aboard a UFO, and on the uniform of one of these occupants, I noticed an emblem in high relief of a winged serpent holding what looked like an egg. In the early 2000s, a London abductee was repeatedly
mantis
terrorized by a
people.
variety of
Scary
aliens,
shit.
including mantis-type beings.
Mantis people do.
One of these insectoids had an emblem on its chest, a featureless black serpent on a yellow badge. The symbol was
They're all working for him, man.
That's correct.
remarkably similar to Schirmer's drawing from 1967. The serpent faced to the left, and its tail was bent.
Notice that the face of the serpent is to the left. Where is Satan gonna go? To the left.
Yes.
2 or 3 times, the only difference being that this serpent had no wings. Abduction researcher and author Thomas Bullard states,
Because he's a fallen angel. That's why he has no wings. They were cut off by God.
See, this is how crazy our stream can be.
I
Because
know,
you
right?
could get comedy, but this is fucking real.
It's true.
Okay, this is real shit.
the occurrence of the winged serpent or some close approximation, long-necked bird, curved snake, lightning bolt, and insignia reported by abductees is one of the curious consistencies in these reports. The instances are not frequent, maybe 5% or fewer of the cases, but the surprising thing is that alternative forms are so scarce. Winged serpents, or dragons, have been reported and described by cultures around the world. They are notably present in medieval folklore. I discussed some of this dragon phenomena, as Fortean researcher Ted Holliday called it, in my video about Loch Ness. On the May 30th, 1888 issue of the New York Times, there was a story about an alleged sighting of a winged serpent in Darlington County, South Carolina. 3 sisters taking a walk through the woods saw, quote, a huge serpent moving through the air above them. The serpent was distant, only 2 or 3 rods, approximately 35 to 50 feet, when they first beheld it, and was sailing through the air with a speed equal to that of a hawk or a buzzard, but without any visible means of propulsion. Its movements in its flight resembled those of a snake, and it looked like a formidable object as it wound its way along.
It's a dragon.
Yeah.
Being apparently 15 feet in length. The girls stood amazed and followed it with their eyes until it was lost to view in the distance. The flying serpent was also seen by a number of people in other parts of the county in the early afternoon of the same day, and by those it is represented as emitting a hissing noise which could be distinctly heard. This is just one of many other reports of such creatures. A wealth of these reports have come out of Southwest Africa, particularly in Namibia.
Yep.
One sighting, which was investigated by police officers as well as zoologists, was reported by a 16-year-old boy, the son of a farmer. The young man was supposed to be herding sheep, but didn't return home later that day. A search party was formed, and eventually he was found unconscious. He was in a state of shock and didn't speak for 3 days. Once he recovered, he reported that while he was resting beneath a tree, he heard a roaring noise like that of a powerful wind. He searched for the source of the noise, and when he looked up, he saw a gigantic snake, which appeared to have thrown itself toward the witness from a nearby ridge. As it got closer, the roar magnified. The sheep scattered as the creature landed near the witness and kicked up dust. The creature smelled strongly of burned brass. The witness suddenly fainted out of fear and again was later found by the search party. Police investigating this incident spoke with local farmers who also had encounters with the flying serpent. Police took this event seriously enough to throw dynamite into a crevice where the creature was believed to lurk. After the explosion, a strange, low moaning sound was heard, but no carcass of the creature was ever found. Another sighting occurred in 1978 when a French farmer was tending his cattle in the Karas region, the least densely populated region of Namibia. The farmer realized that a bright white light appeared to be flying directly towards him. He heard a loud thud, followed by one of his cattle groaning in pain.
Aw, no, it did the cattle mutilation shit. I'm so sad about that cattle mutilation stuff these things do. These poor cows, they have these, like, huge holes in their body, and they're dead. Like, what the hell is that shit?
He ran towards his cow when he saw the creature. He would later tell the local police, "I saw what looked like, as the best matching description I can give you is that it looked like a dragon. It had a white, bright light on its head. The color of it was brown and yellow. It had green eyes. There was a tar-like smell coming from it, and it had smoke coming out of its nostrils."
Tar-like smell coming from it, and it has smoke coming out of his nostrils. Smoke out of his nostrils? That sounds sus to me.
Sulfur.
The witness met with an artist who created this illustration of the creature. In the
Fuck that fucking thing, man. I don't fuck with shit like that. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ. I ain't gonna fuck with that shit.
In the 80s, continuing sightings of the creature were investigated by famous cryptozoologist Roy Mackel, who interviewed many German settlers who witnessed the creature. They described the creature as hairless and serpentine, with a wingspan reaching 30 feet.
Man, they've been talking about these draconians or these reptilians for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
They're real. They have to be.
They are.
All right. Well, guys.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't even...
That, yeah, I know.
Okay, no, this actually triggered memories for me. And I'm not trolling, guys. I'm telling you the fucking truth. I'm going to have a big video for you. A Revelation News testimony video. That fucking thing triggered memories. Man, God put you in that. I'm telling you.
It's something. So what do you guys think? Put it in the comments. We're checking out for tonight.
I was thinking about
I'm
doing
getting
something.
some rest. If he does something, he does something.
I might, yeah.
All right, guys. Peace and Maranatha. See you guys tomorrow. Be there. Or be square.
That's a boy coming to ya.
The boy
is a boy.
A good boy he is, I say.